We're gonna do it live. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Sunday, and welcome to Hunting Mr. Mustache Man. That's right. It seems that YouTube is being goofy today, so bear with us. And welcome, Mr. Clifton 3D. What is this? Enigmatic Universe? Oh yeah.
Yes. Hey, yeah, it's Sunday, and we're hunting Mustache Man. So that's always fun.
We are hunting Mr. Mustache Man. Wow. Somebody. Oh no, I thought somebody was watching on Twitch for a second. I was like, it's like lightning does strike every once in a while. And of course, random physicist.
Howdy. Hi.
Hey.
I'm sorry we were late because of me. I was trying to tinker with the reactor, and yeah.
You know, I wasn't gonna actually say anything. I was gonna say that we were waiting for our favorite spy, but I just said starting soon. But so yes, Anna did say, she's like, I'm powering up the reactor 2 seconds, and she had a time to update her little thumbnail thing. And Clifton is not feeling the greatest, so he's not gonna be on camera. So if nobody wants to be on camera, it's all good in the hood. You all know what we look like. I mean, obviously Clifton's the best looking out of all of us, so it's like, what are you gonna do?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Clifton says, "Who is ready?" And Wade, what is up? Wade says, "Laugh out loud." Timmy is watching in his house. Timmy, that's right, Clifton. Timmy.
Are we talking about Timmy, or are we talking about Tim Kennedy?
No, we're talking about Timmy.
Okay. Checking.
Man, he's halfway through the episode, and you're already bringing him up. You have a problem.
Yep.
Yup. Oh, that's funny. Wade says, will Anna wear a post-apocalyptic house with gas-powered tube? I don't know. No, I doubt it. And Wade says, I put the videos up. All right, I made the videos. I'll check them out, dude. Cliff says, I'm sure he'll see it. Yes, I will. And then, of course, Kathleen is here. She says, hey, am I early? No, we're just late. We had a problem with the reactor.
Yeah.
So
yeah, there was a bright light. My nose is bleeding.
Also, you're getting headaches.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. I tried to prevent it, but can blame it on me.
This is. Please don't be mad at this joke, but this is why you don't let the Ruskies do the Chernobyl.
Whoa,
hello?
that is.
I'm sorry. Sorry. It's fine. You can yell at me later. Wade says, what's your Twitch? It's just Legion Games 2076. Twitch is kind of a dying platform, though. Nobody cares. Nobody really cares. So this was an interesting episode, and I'm definitely interested to see what the panel thought. We're not going to do any spoilers just yet. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much did you enjoy the episode? Maybe, and how much did you question?
Can I just point something out? Wouldn't it be better to give a score at the end of going through the episode than doing it beforehand?
I think it kind of just gauges where everybody's sitting.
Well, I know where I'm sitting.
On a chair?
In a bunker near a lake.
In a bucket.
Exactly. I'm in a factory. What are you talking about?
Appreciate you stopping by there over on Twitch there, Wade. I mean, okay, how about this? Did you was this episode kind of surprising, or was it maybe
No,
something more that you're kind of like you're like, okay.
no, it wasn't surprising. And you know me, I'm gonna tear it apart.
Well, that's why you're here, because you actually have good opinions. Clifton,
Um,
why do you sound grumpy?
it was no, not grunt. It was interesting to see if I believed everything exactly. Yeah, but
Yeah.
although to be honest, I probably have the last thing they showed. They always show next episode,
Mm-hmm.
and I probably have that in my mind the most, where I'm like, sure, let's do a DNA test. But that's probably my main issue.
Oh,
Anna says, "Hail, fellow scientists," and a bomb.
yes.
Ooh.
She is a physicist, so they do like their bombs. Yeah. Speaking of bombs, let's go. Why is there no sound? Oh, it's because you're not sharing it, you doofus. I'm such a.
Hmm.
I might be the least intelligent of this panel. Seriously.
Previously on Hunting Hitler.
Why is it so loud? Sorry, I didn't test the volume.
Bormann's headquarters, Tangier, Morocco.
Anna's favorite person,
goes to
Martin Bormann.
Tangier to set up the Fourth Reich.
Y fue el alemán el que hizo la torre.
This has all the markings of a military command center.
If Hitler is going to come back,
Weapons are absolutely crucial.
in Buenos
Damn it,
KRT
R2, you come in at the worst times. You and Clifton are just sound victims. I don't know. Every single time like one of you is around, I have sound issues.
I don't know. I listened to your video on, I think it was Kelly Rowland, and I nearly my ears fell off in the first couple of seconds. You were so loud. So don't blame the dudes.
Don't blame. Well,
And hey, R2, great to see you.
Yeah, it's good to see you, man. I'm glad that you're doing much better.
Yeah, I heard that I wasn't able to catch the stream yet. I hope
I caught it late, so I had to go back and I backtracked. But yeah, don't do that anymore, please. I'm just here to chew bubble gum and derail streams, and I'm all out of bubble gum. It's a good joke. I like that joke. It's a good movie too. You can watch. Yeah, you can watch the replay.
Oh yeah.
So, but the long story short, he's doing much better, and well, except for the tornadoes last night, apparently. I feel like God's trying to tell you something. I don't know. Maybe spoil my. I'm not gonna spoil it. I promise. I won't say nothing. Shut up. We're here for a mustache man, and I'm gonna turn the volume down just a smidgen more so nobody gets their ears blown off.
Buenos Aires, Mandel's bicycle and plastic plants began to produce machine guns, airplanes, bullets, and bombs.
I have explosive detected. It's detected TNT, Tim. Yeah.
After the end of the Second World War, there was a meeting between Juan Perón, the president of Argentina, and Martin Bormann in Buenos Aires.
The deeper we get into Fourth Reich in Argentina, the more I'm convinced.
Team Hitler.
Look, what we got is a secret Nazi headquarters in Tangier.
Wade says, wow, Ryan, good news. Timmy's house is intact. Well, Timmy'd actually have to build the house first, because I saw that thing that you call a house in Fallout. Come on, Wade. Come on, bro. That was a fun stream, by the way. It's just 4 hours of goofing around. Like, I didn't think I could have so much fun just doing that, hanging out with y'all. And I mean Wade and the two others here. Well, hello to Anna.
Hi.
Guess how I'll almost we don't. How about maybe my guess is a bear attack. Well, there are bears in Georgia or wherever. No, it's not Georgia. I keep thinking Georgia. I know where it is, but it's not Georgia. So, maybe don't. Just don't. I'll I'll tell the missus on you.
Well, I mean, as long as he monetizes it, right?
Well, I mean, yeah, if you're gonna do something, do it right, monetize it. Like, quick, go live. So Anna, are you in disguise or are you just
I am. I got my goggles. I got
okay?
my headband. I got my pen ready to take notes about the experiments we're going to be conducting. So
And Wade says, you mean Yao Guai? Yes. I kind of wish they would have called it a Yao Guai in the show, but that's neither here. Not this show. Different show.
Morocco. It's connected to Bormann, who was Hitler's right-hand man. We've got a munitions factory in Argentina, which we've now established there was government support for the Nazis. And we've got 10,000 Nazis fleeing Europe, heading for South America. I mean, these pieces are telling a story that's changing history.
CIA veteran Bob Baer and war crimes investigator Dr. John Sensich are overseeing a dual-pronged investigation. While the team in Tangier, Morocco has uncovered a possible Nazi headquarters where a declassified MI6 file reports Martin Bormann organizing the Fourth Reich, the team in Buenos Aires, Argentina has discovered a munitions factory with Nazi ties operating after the war.
The deeper we get into this, it's looking like these people truly believed that they were going to arm, establish the Fourth Reich, and they were going to win this time. The evidence is out there. They were planning something. But they weren't going to simply rearm in Argentina and drive a tank division all over South America. The only way that they were ever going to make this happen is some sort of weapon of mass destruction. And this has always been the dream of dictators. It's always been the dream of countries that have failed. So there's no reason to believe that the Nazis would not entertain fantasies like this. Attacks with weapons of mass destruction do change the game. After the utter defeat of Germany, the only way for Hitler to come back was a giant weapon.
You need to take a look at this. This is a map of Manhattan. This map came from the internal files of an engineer in the Nazi Luftwaffe, the Air Force. It depicts a plan developed in 1944 to bomb the United States, and more specifically, Manhattan Island.
This is chilling. I mean, they had a plan for mass destruction in the United States using a weapon with a kill radius which would have taken out Manhattan.
That's a scary thought. If Hitler lived, one of his principal targets would have been New York City. By attacking New York City, it strikes at the heart of Americans. It strikes at the heart of the free world all over.
I guarantee you that even after the war, they were all the more motivated to hit Manhattan because that was their only hope of ever coming back. And somebody told Hitler that this was doable.
If we know how close...
Sorry, allergies. Give me a second.
yeah, no, that's cool. I think all of us are having allergies.
Yeah, it just all of a sudden hit me. I don't know what's in the air, but oof. This is my first spring back in Colorado, so I guarantee I'm probably gonna be a mess. So, what do you guys kind of think thus far? Because I got to step away to blow my nose.
Clifton.
I mean, were they making plans against the United States? Yes. I mean, there is. I don't know the quote exactly, but I know that Hitler wasn't particularly fond of attacking America during the war.
Mm-hmm.
And there was something because all of the Americans have guns. And, they're all going to be, but it's going to be so hard to actually win against them. But I know, like, after the war, that there they did make plans.
I mean, the Germans did have a specific group of scientists who were working on an atomic bomb, but they never actually succeeded. And like, it would make sense, even if it has nothing to do with Hitler, for other people like Perón, the leader, the dictator of Argentina, to be interested, even though it was under the disguise of it being a form of energy that Argentina would be the first in the world to produce with nuclear thermal fusion. But at the same time, it's kind of like, if you are able to do that, you have unlimited power, therefore you will be able to make weapons as well. Now, from what I know from history, the Germans were never able, they didn't even come close. And when so like going from 1942 to 43, all of the resources were basically put into the industrial military complex, building tanks, providing food, doing all of that. So that small group of people, one of who was the Nobel Prize winner Heisenberg, haha, Heisenberg, Breaking Bad, but like he never even understood properly how to create fusion. So this is, and again, we'll go into the story of the main guy, Ronald Richter. But for me, again, like, this is, I don't think that Hitler went to Argentina and gave this guy, and it had anything to do with him. I just don't believe it. Sorry.
Yeah.
I think it was Argentine driven. I think it was Perón who was driving it. And again, the guy, Ronald Richter, I don't think he had anything to do with Hitler in that capacity. Like, he was never accused of any war crimes. He was just a scientist, as a lot of them were. So, no. It's ridiculous.
Okay.
Yeah. I totally get that.
Yeah. Yeah, I can obviously this whole entire episode is just sorry, my eyeballs are all watery now because I was sneezing. So I know I look like a mess. But yeah, no, this is all, again, hearsay. These are all reports. These are, people said this and this, what they're, this is best guesswork. Now, there are some very interesting points, especially because Argentina at the time wasn't really advanced enough to pull this kind of thing off without a more advanced set of scientists come in, and they didn't have it. And the Germans, unfortunately, at the time were the most advanced.
Well,
Yes.
actually, that's yes, but actually, no, they did have the Argentinian intelligentsia, but Perón kicked them all out, just like Hitler did when he was trying to establish himself in power. All of the people that disagreed with Perón, who were the higher scientist intelligentsia, basically left the country.
Mhm.
Just like Einstein and a lot of people left, Germany and Austria during that time. So here, the same thing. They did have the people. He just kicked them all out under the fear of prosecution. So that's why he needed an influx of scientists, and who better than those who agreed with his politics than Germans and Austrians.
Mhm. Yeah.
Very true.
Yeah, dictators don't like to be disagreed with.
Nope.
Kind of weird like that. But I will admit this, that that Hitler did view the United States as is the biggest threat to his worldwide domination. So he would want to take out the United States as quickly as possible, and thus kind of what happens in the Man in the High Castle is that the United States is several nuclear bombs are dropped and the United States just gives up. And that would not be too far fetched. Getting the house.
Hi, Andy.
What's up, Andy? I think I said that okay. I'm a little rusty, but that wasn't too shabby. So yes. But then again, on the Eastern Front, Hitler couldn't even couldn't even tackle Russia, the Soviet Union. So, and he was to be able to take on a two-front war, he would have needed this fantastical bomb that eventually the German scientists brought to the United States and we torched Japan with. So
And they did Clifton. What did they call the Wunderwaffen? What Wunderwaffe?
what wonder weapon? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of like high-ranking Nazi officials did refer to some sort of like, and to this day, people don't know whether they're just talking about like super weapons, as in guns and tanks, or the super weapon, which is like
usually
the SS version of Fat Man.
Usually they're talking about the rockets V1, V2, and I think there was supposed to be V3, which von Braun helped develop.
Yeah. So the irony is that even Werner von Braun, when asked about the V2 rockets, he says they worked perfectly. They just landed on the wrong planet. And even though yes, he was a Nazi scientist and even participated in some war crimes, um, I don't think he necessarily wanted weapons of war. He wanted to go to the moon. He wanted to go to other planets. And so I'm not saying he's a good person, but I think he wasn't down with the war. It's just they gave him all this money and he made some of the most fantastical things ever. Wie geht's y'all? I'm good. It's very good. I think I said that right. Damn, I'm rusty.
That was good. That was good.
So it's wow, Twitter's blowing up. So anyway, long story short, the Nazis also had several wonder weapons, and there's even a series about it, the Nazis and the wonder weapons and stuff like that. And yeah, talk about the V2s, talk about all these things that they innovated long before the rest of the world could even fathom what they were doing, fathom or even think of it. And it's out of control. It's nuts. So anyway, I've talked too much. You talk too much.
The Nazis actually got toward having a workable nuclear weapon during the war, then that brings in an entirely different perspective on the Fourth Reich's actual operational capacity after the war.
I totally agree. Now, what we have to do now is dig into the database and see how far the Nazis got. Could they have made one?
All right, let's see what we got here. Region.
Well, Anna, you just fit right in right now. You're fitting right in with all them scientists.
Oh yeah, this is what the episode is about.
Mm-hmm. All at the same time, the black jacket. It actually kind of works.
It's not a jacket. It's a denim. It's a denim shirt.
Oh,
they used to wear in the factories back in the day.
That's very true. Denim was invented to be extremely durable and tough.
Yeah.
Wade, no. Just sorry, dude. No. We'll let Clifton read it or
Ryan braucht einen Hut von mir und ist der netteste Mensch überhaupt.
Yeah, I wouldn't have said hoot. I would have said hut.
Yeah, Ryan needs a hat, and he's the nicest person ever.
I have a hat. Okay.
Oh, you need one of his hats.
Oh, one of his hats.
Yes.
Oh. I mean, I don't know. I'm pretty partial to my American flag hats. I got two more coming that I probably don't need. I have too many hats with the U.S. flag on it. It's almost like I was in the military or something.
No,
are you sure?
No way.
It's just funny.
Never guess with your background as well.
Well, what happened? Is it red, white, and blue? What do you mean?
Yeah.
I made a joke.
Why you have that there?
I made a joke with a friend, so back when the coof was a thing, everybody's covering their face, they're going into stores and stuff like that. I was like, I remember when if you walked into a store with your face covered like this, they called the police. And I sent a photo to my friend. I was like, going to look like somebody's gonna call the cops on me. He's like, yeah, but at the same time, he's like, your hat up top, he's like, it says I come in peace. And I'm like, he was a Marine, so he thought it was funny. Andy says, mein Hut est hast Dreieck.
Was that like a mix of German and French?
I don't know. I don't know what that was. Help.
I know what he's alluding to. There's this mein Hut, es hat drei Ecken. Drei Ecken hat mein Hut. My
Oh,
hat
yeah,
has
I know that.
my hat has three corners. 3 corners has my hat.
Nice.
I heard it somewhere. Is that from like Andy? Is that from a film or something?
It's some kind of a like I don't know. I think it's like from some kind of a music for kids kind of thing. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a song back when they had tri-corner hats.
Okay.
That's when it was. I know it. I don't want to. Andy, tell us where it came from because it sounds so familiar. Seriously.
Like the Navy during colonial times.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was off of something or it was just an old folk song.
Old folk song. Yeah. From the Napoleon era.
Yeah, my hat has to. My hat. I know it too. That's gonna bother the snot out of
You have the flute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I know.
Simpler times. And jaundice, if you're down with that. Clifton's like, All right, here we go.
Germany. Nuclear.
Bomber.
All right. Here's a document from the District Council in Thuringia, Germany. It's a deposition of Claire Werner. And it goes on to say that on March 4th, 1945, a Wehrmacht officer told me that today world history would be rewritten. I was at my window to look over the military training ground in the evening. There was suddenly a brightness like hundreds of bolts of lightning. So bright that you could read a newspaper. Afterwards, there was a very powerful wind. Later, I had, like many residents in the area, nosebleeds, headaches, and pressure in the ears.
So a lot of people don't know that a nuclear bomb is not just a massive explosion. It literally changes the atmosphere around it for a couple of seconds. But it does it in such a microsecond that you don't even notice it. So Wade said something in Russian. So I'm assuming this is Anna, the first part.
Ане нужен мой приятель для ее кота. Anna needs my buddy for her cat.
He's my buddy.
Yeah, I think he means one of his.
Well, yeah, his dog. His dog.
Merch with the pups. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So like.
Would your cat wear like a little shirt like that? I doubt it.
Oh, he would not.
I'm about to say my cats would flip the snot out. Like they're well-behaved cats, as well-behaved cats go.
He means a plushie.
Oh, like a plushie.
Yeah.
R2 says, I want Clifton to translate the lyrics of the masterpiece classic, make them say, ugh, na, from English to Deutsch.
Oh my god. R2.
Clifton, that's all you, dude.
I have no idea. I don't know it.
Well, come on.
I don't know it.
Well, okay, just translate this part to Deutsch. Make him say na.
Let's see. Na sagen.
Does not have the same effect.
No, it doesn't.
Oh, that's really funny. Anna needs a puppy shirt already.
I will. I'll get one.
Wade, are you pushing your merch store? I'm just kidding. We gave Wade a hard time on his stream. It was a 4-hour stream. I joined, then Anna joined, then Clifton joined, and Wade's no, I'm not gonna sing that. Stick with 99
Close.
99 red balloons. No,
She
No,
sings it in
99
both
red.
languages.
Yeah, 99 red balloons would be like call me. 99 Luftwaffe.
He says, "Call it a payback." You know what, Wade? That deserves applause. I like that. That's funny. R2 says the English version is far more angrier. And I am shocked, not expecting. Yeah, yeah. Us Americans. Anyway,
This woman is living next to a base in Thuringia. She's standing at her window, and there's this explosion, which fits a nuclear bomb. Exactly fits one.
balloons are bombs.
If
99
we want
commie
to know what was
balloons.
going on during the war, we need to send the team to Thuringia.
We do.
I mean, you
I
remember what
guarantee
happened
you,
last
if you
year
can
with
make-
those balloons that were shot down above the
Yeah, yeah. The spy balloon from China
city? Yep.
Mm-hmm.
that they literally let go over about a third of the country before they shot it down.
Yeah.
Idiots. And then they're like, oh, well, apparently there was a balloon that Trump was president. We didn't tell him because we didn't want him to shoot it down. It's like, well, that's what? He's the command. Never mind. He's the commander in chief. You losers.
I'm sorry.
I mean, was he going to nuke the balloon? What are you talking about here? I hate our government so much. Also, shout out to everybody who's watching on all platforms. You guys are the best ever.
Take a bomb
Yeah.
and set it off in Thuringia, you could easily transport the same technology or the bomb itself to Argentina after the war.
Let's see what we can find in Thuringia. That's the big story.
That was very big.
I just thought it was so funny. Every time I heard them say that name, I was like, where in the hell is this supposed to be?
Thuringia?
And then I had to go back. I had to put on the closed captions, and then I was like, oh, I don't like the name changes. English, the from German to English.
Oh, what is it?
I get München is Munich. I get Köln is Cologne. I get Bad Kreuznach is Bad Korksnot, and Thüringen is Thuringia. But I was like, what in the hell?
Mm.
It sounded
So
like it was
it's
some
Thüringen.
yeah, Thüringen.
Thüringen.
Yeah.
Really?
And I was like, it sounded like
Why?
it sounded like something like North
I mean,
Africa.
maybe they're trying to hide the exact location, if that makes sense.
No, it's just one of those things, like München is Munich in
Yeah.
English. It's I guess it's just one of those things, but I was like, where in the hell?
Interesting. Wow.
Americans give German city names weird names when they change it.
Istanbul, not Constantinople.
No, it's called Istanbul.
Yeah.
Yes. New York used to be called New Amsterdam.
But that's different. That's different
Yeah,
because
it's
because it actually got the name change, right? The German cities, they didn't actually get a name change. It's just Americans not being able to
Yeah.
use the
Same thing with
umlauts
like
and stuff.
certain Russian stuff as well. Like I hate it. My pet peeve is when people say Moscow, even though I know in German that's how it's pronounced, but actually like it's Moskva. It's not even Moscow, Moscow. It's Moskva.
Mhm.
But then again, like New York would be New York in Russian. Berlin would be Berlin.
Well,
Paris.
because you guys don't have words for English words. Does that make sense? We haven't been around long enough, and this is talking. America hasn't been around long enough. To be
The
it's
English,
just
but the English language, they always, use German words. I mean, Andy Pickle was on was talking on stream on a chat stream yesterday about was it gesund? No, was it Gesundheit? I'm trying to
Gesundheit.
think. That's a German word.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it was another one. I can't remember.
Well, it's probably because we're, the United States is literally a land of immigrants.
Schadenfreude. That was the one.
Schadenfreude?
Yeah, Schadenfreude. And a new one that I want to introduce, Feierabend.
Feierabend?
I want American and English speakers to use Feierabend because really I don't know if there is an English word for Feierabend. The celebration evening. The time between when you get off work and you go to bed. It's Feierabend. It's a celebration.
We just call it the evening.
Yeah, but it's a celebration. Don't you want to celebrate being off work?
Yes, because I enjoy being off work all the time. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
But yeah. Bears, not cows. What?
That was in response to Wade saying that Moscow has a lot of cows.
I don't think they have really a lot of cows. No.
But we've
What is it
seen
again for
people riding bears.
Moscow.
No, I know, but what is it? How's it pronounced really?
Moskva. 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 And the animal for all of Russia is a bear.
Mhm.
So not a cow.
Moskva.
Like in India. They're holy in India.
It's true. They are holy. What's weird is that a lot of the export of beef in the U.S. I'm sorry, a lot of the import of beef in the U.S. comes from India. You'll know that. So even though they revere them as holy, they're not stupid. They sell them to America. So Ryan is a W made of two U's. I don't know what that means. Is there a joke there?
I was actually trying to look up something topical. How many nuclear tests have been conducted since 1945? And from this,
It's hundreds. I don't know the exact number, but it's definitely hundreds.
No, it's actually 1,032 for the United States, 727 for the Soviet Union, UK 88, France 215, China 47, India 3, Pakistan 2, North Korea 6. So that is from 1942 to 2017.
Oh, okay. I didn't think of that in that way. The Romans used a V in place of U. That is true.
So up to 2017, we were still testing out atomic bombs.
Yep.
Wow.
Either underground or outer atmosphere. The United States leads the path.
And again, as we talked about last week, the United States detonated a nuclear weapon in the Van Allen radiation belt called Operation Starfish Prime. They were seeing if they could punch a hole in it to try to widen it and its thickest point. And it's like, yeah, let's use radiation to part radiation. Like what? And it actually caused an EMP blast in Hawaii, which was 900 miles away from said blast zone. It's like,
isn't that
yay.
the day when everybody in the States got like an alert, like a red alert on their phone? I remember something like that happening.
Oh no, this was back in like the
alert
60s.
No, like not long ago, maybe 5, 6, 7 years ago. Everyone got like a nuclear thing on their phone in Hawaii. They were testing
yes. Yeah, no, I think that was actually due to the response of that little limp dick fucker in North Korea firing stuff off. I think that was it.
Right.
I think it was like 5 years
Kim
ago.
Jong-un being
Yeah.
a little bit,
Yeah.
with his toys.
Yeah, because he was literally firing them over Japan, and and if a lot of people don't realize that Hawaii, even though it's a part of the United States, it's like a 4-hour plane flight from land to land. Or not 4 hours. It's like that's was it 2.5? 2.5. Sorry. Yeah, it's a long ways away, guys. It's one of those things that it's kind of weird that Alaska and Hawaii are part of the US because they're not attached, period.
Mm.
Like you'd have to drive through Canada to get to Alaska or fly, and you just have to fly to Hawaii. What's up, love? It says, dang, mustache man being elusive again. Yeah, he's doing it. He just
Hey.
that's
Hello.
that bastard.
Yeah,
So we're in.
always so slippery.
He's very slippery.
Ew. Ew.
So we're in where, Clifton? What's this called again?
Turingen.
Thuringen. All right.
Well, this is an absolutely amazing place.
It is.
So I wonder which window was Claire Werner looking from?
In Thuringia, Germany, World War II historian James Holland and Third Reich expert Sasha Kyle arrive at the outskirts of a former Nazi training base in the location that Claire Werner claimed to have witnessed an explosion from her window.
Well, this is the room.
Thank you. Gosh, look at this.
This is our area of interest.
And suddenly you see this huge flash of light.
Okay, so the reason I'm leading towards more this being more credible is because they go to the location. There's obviously a caretaker and owner, somebody who knows the story and knows the exact room like that. That's if it was something that was contested, they'd be like, well, it was maybe on the side of the castle. I mean, it seems like the story has been propagated for decades, in my opinion.
I don't have a problem with that. I don't see why, but again, it's not like a Trinity experiment, like they did with the Project Manhattan. It's going to be, you can still have like nuclear testing, atomic bomb testing, but on a smaller scale. So.
What is Mustache Man DB Cooper? I actually once we finish this, and then most likely the Netflix documentary coming out, I was gonna kind of dabble in some other just individual documentaries for the show, and DB Cooper is one of them because it's a very interesting story.
Oh, yeah.
Sure is.
Kind of one of the only stories like it.
Nah, there's been quite a few where people have obviously like got on the plane and then disappeared, no trace of them, and then money lost.
Well, yeah, I mean, but he's the only one that basically jumped out the back of a 727 and was never found. So,
Well,
at least in the U.S., I don't know. It's why his story's so famous. But there was a documentary that I watched that they think that they actually figured out who he was, and they tried to talk to the guy, and he was so standoffish and like, just get out of here, or like,
yeah, there's a bunch of people who came forward and said like, oh, he was my granddad or he was my uncle, or
this is the only one that I know of that they actually thought they found the actual person. And the police were actually investigating towards the end of it. Anyway,
That lights up the room so much that you could read a newspaper from it.
That would seem apocalyptic.
When you're thinking of the Second World War bombs, you're thinking of a huge eruption of debris and grit and certainly lots of smoke. But you're not expecting blinding flash of light and mushroom clouds. So we need to find out what was going on here in Thuringia.
I brought you something from the military archives. We found some aerial photos. This one is from 1944, and this one 1 year later.
Looking at it, you can see the blast damage. This dark area here, this sense of spread kind of pushing out. The 1944 picture, the area in question is nice and clear. The one that follows a year later, there's a blast that's spread out from a kind of epicenter. So where is that blast area? We're standing in the middle of a castle, which is on a hill surrounded by trees. Boom, there. There's our castle, there's our surrounding of trees. And then if I look out this window, what I'm looking at is a long, narrow, wooded ridge. Long, narrow, wooded ridge. So if I'm here and I'm looking out through there, my view is sort of across there. That's our area.
We have to go there.
We sure do.
I love how this guy, the sound effects that he makes when he's narrating.
Yeah, he's
Pull
like,
it.
there.
That's cool.
It's a little it is slightly fantastical to kind of do it the way he did it. It is a rough guess. It's not going to be 100% perfect in my opinion.
Yeah, but still, compared to the other guy, he's a lot more likable, like I said last time. And therefore, I don't have a problem with this whole segment. I think definitely there were experiments being carried out, just like the Americans did. If the Americans did it, the Soviets did it. Why wouldn't the Germans do it? So it's nothing.
I agree with that there were probably experiments, but I'm not entirely sure about this place because I'm like I have no, I found articles. I've been trying to find for a while now if there was like a follow-up to these articles, but there were articles out that a guy, what's his name, Rainer Kalsch, was trying to prove that they had A bombs, and with this story, and he they tested the ground and everything, and he didn't say from what ground it came, and just there's so much circumstantial evidence that he produced that nobody actually knows if it's true or not. And I've been looking for follow-up articles, if someone actually went in and tried to figure out this whole thing, and I can't find it, which is so weird.
Right.
The only articles I find are from 2005. And it's just okay, so some guy made it up for his book that he wanted to sell.
Well, 2005 until we get to this. And to think, look, I'm not saying that the Third Reich had an actual atom bomb. But I think they were definitely working towards it, and they had something that was probably small yield. Nothing to what eventually the US got and dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki to end the war with Japan. But then again, those were German scientists that led to that. So it's one of those things that I think that they were close, but they weren't close enough to something that would actually end the war. And at the time, a lot of people don't know this. There's a great video. I'll have to find it maybe for next week. It shows the growth of during World War One. That Timmy's leaving. See you, man.
Hey, take care, man.
Yeah, see you, buddy. And it shows the growth of World War One, World War Two by a graph of countries powering up. The conflict hits. You can see the countries in Europe drop off because they're fighting each other. It's very expensive. It's very costly. And you see the United States keep skyrocketing. And then, of course, eventually it gets to World War II. And the United States is drastically above in World War II every other country because we've just been prepping, getting ready, stuff like that. And then as soon as we hit World War II and we're involved, you see our needle drop because now we're spending the resources And the United States would have had drastically more money to throw at these scientists to figure out an atomic bomb. Now, look, the atomic bomb is not the same thing as a hydrogen bomb.
Oh, yeah.
So they're two different things. And the nuclear weapons that we have today are 100 times, 200 times bigger than what was dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, which is terrifying to think about. Also, at the same time, shout out to the fact that Russia has more nuclear weapons in service to this date than the United States does. So
Yeah.
it's there was a de-arming, but nobody de-armed 100%. Let's just say that.
Russia has 5,889
I think the U.S.
warheads.
only has like 4,900 or something like that.
No, the U.S. has 5,224, so you're
Okay.
not that far behind. China is 410.
Mm-hmm.
France 290, United Kingdom 225, Pakistan 170, India 164, Israel 90, North Korea 30.
Yeah. So
So
go ahead, dude.
I just found a bit of another article. And so this sounds plausible. The proof that there, and I'm translating it with ChatGPT just because I'm too lazy to do it myself. The proof that there was no operational German atomic bomb in 1944-45 can be established on 3 levels. First, there was not enough feasible material in Germany at the time, an indispensable prerequisite for any nuclear weapon. Even Carl acknowledges this and speculates about an alternative atomic weapon concept without being able to demonstrate its existence or functionality.
Yeah.
So that's what I found.
And how much was Project Manhattan?
The Manhattan
2 billion back then, which is what 22 billion today.
It was something astronomical in today's currency. I mean, we were vomiting money at them because again, this was the game changer. And as soon as the US dropped those bombs on Japan, the world was never the same. And that's real talk. That's not a joke. And it's also one of the reasons why, you know what? Let's not piss Russia off, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, we can all get along. It's not that bad. Nobody cares. Fuck Ukraine.
Oh.
I'm just saying this.
I'm not Ukrainian. You insulted me.
I'm kidding. Real world talk. This actually just came out that
Russians are not idiots. They're not gonna. They don't want to start anything first.
No, they don't.
You are an idiot, and you do something. You push the button first, then they will respond. They're not going to do anything first.
One of the biggest thing about NATO is that there are certain countries to not encroach on what was formerly the USSR or the Soviet Union, stuff like that. He's
buffer states.
There's nothing wrong with that. You know, if Russia decided to, I don't know, set up a bunch of military bases in Mexico right on our border, we'd probably have a problem with that, right? Be a little grumpy, like, hey man, what are you doing? So it's really not that far of a stretch to say stop it.
Hi, Jacob.
Hey, Jacob. What's up, buddy?
Welcome to the hunt.
Look, he's going to do the Rocky IV speech. I love that speech, by the way. Look, Rocky IV is my favorite. It really is. It really is my favorite. Such a good movie. Anyway, so it's not that far-fetched for Russia to say, hey man, maybe don't make Ukraine a part of NATO. It's like, yeah, inviting Finland and Ukraine into NATO is like the Cuban Missile Crisis. Yeah, it's like, what are we doing?
Maybe don't, and I don't want to go on a tangent, but one quick thing, maybe don't ethnically cleanse people in Eastern Ukraine who are Russian. Like, forbid them from using the Russian language, stop teaching the Russian language in Eastern Ukraine. Like, again, where have we seen this before? Oh, in Germany. Don't teach this language. Don't prescribe people prescriptions in this language. You know, tell everybody, oh, this person is of Russian ethnicity. Sorry.
Well, That's kind of one of the reasons I wanna go over that Netflix documentary that you series that you sent me is because that intellectual at the end, he's like, we've seemed to forget the the teachings of what we learned from Nazi Germany. And we have. We really have. And we're just ignorantly going about like othering other, vilifying people, making them others like they're less than, and that goes for in this
Specifically,
country.
if you're actually using ultranationalism and actual groups and battalions who do believe in neo-Nazism and do
Mhm.
support people who supported Hitler back in the day,
Yeah.
like, sorry, nope, no.
And Ukraine has always been a very corrupt nation for many years now. I
Oh yeah.
remember when a certain phone call from a previous president, and they wanted to impeach him for that because Ukraine was super corrupt. Now it's like everybody's like going, Slava Ukraini, and I'm like going, fuck you off. Get
And
out of
and
here, you
on and
idiots.
honestly, everything has just gone too far. Like
Yes.
excluding Russians. I mean, just coming up next month is the European Cup, football cup for the American soccer. Um, the Russians aren't allowed to be a part of that because of this whole thing, but
Mhm,
Ukrainian is there.
mhm.
And guess what? Turkey is also there, who is known to be,
Who are
going after the Kurds.
bombing Kurdistan.
Yeah, exactly.
Is
So
Is China gonna be there?
China's
They're
not
not
gonna be there.
Europe.
Oh, okay. Oh, I mean, well, because oh, I thought you implied that yes, for the US it's soccer. I thought you implied that the US was going to be there. So I
Andy's
thought it was
asking
like,
a really interesting question. Sorry to interrupt.
yes, I was going to get to that.
Yeah, in Ukraine, does your family? So this is one big thing that people also fail to understand. There is a very big divide between Eastern and Western Ukraine. Eastern Ukrainians identify themselves more as Russian, even though
Yep.
both West and East speak Russian or
Yep.
used to as their first language, and obviously Ukrainian both. But with the West, they wanted to go more with the European Union, with what America was offering them. The East wanted to go more with Russia. So again, it's very divisive. A lot of Western, like a place like Lvov, which actually I don't mean the whole city, but a lot of the officials back in the 40s would affiliate themselves and collaborate with the SS. So they to this day, today still have cafes and things where you can go with like Nazi memorabilia and they celebrate Nazis. And Lvov is very famous for being a city that used to collaborate. When you go to the east, it's more kind of like the Soviet influence, so almost like Western and Eastern Berlin. So it really depends. Like today, for me, I'm only 1/3 Ukrainian. So for me, I just want everybody to be peaceful and unite. But unfortunately, that's not going to happen because it's ingrained for such a long time and has been in one side and the other side to, have different traditions, to have different cultural influences, just like North Korea, South Korea. North Italy, South Italy, not exactly the same situation, but it's just the way it is. So for my family, we always considered ourselves to be more like the Russian side because, the majority of me is Russian. So yeah, it's a really and same thing that's going on in the Middle East today. It's so horrible to see when people just have completely and such hatred for each other, which is stirred up by foreign influences like the West. Instead of trying to find a diplomatic solution, go in there and you stir it up so there's a conflict.
Yep.
And that is just yeah.
I'm all about that. Yeah, I want people to stop dying. I'm
It's like
tired of it.
Victoria Newland and her stupid ass cookies going on to Maidan in Kiev and talking about how she wants a revolution in Ukraine. Who asked you there? Why are you there?
Well, it's all the also like all the Hollywood weirdos who like, oh, I went to Ukraine, and it's like going, dude, nobody cares. Screw you. You don't know anything about geopolitics. Get the fuck out.
Yeah,
Ethan
exactly.
Hawke, you fucking fairy.
So
God, you
horrible,
suck.
so horrible that they go there to beaches and parties and stuff like that, right?
Yeah. No, And to talk about Eurovision too, which recently just happened, and again, you know, so Russia has not been allowed to be a part of Eurovision for 2 years now, and at Eurovision, there were people who were chastising and belittling and just saying horrible things about the Israeli performer.
And do you know that she's a Russian Jew? So
I
she's an
did not
Israeli
know that. Oh man,
citizen.
she's really screwed then.
So she's lived in Moscow for like a number of years.
Yeah, that's it. It's just heinous. It's heinous. This world political crap, and it is. It's a part of history. It's and
I don't think the UK and the United States were excluded from a World Cups or Eurovisions after the invasion of Iraq. I don't remember anybody being excluded from anything.
well, the World Cup. No, the U.S. has never been a part of Eurovision. So they tried to start an American song contest here.
No, I know,
Years
but
ago.
the
But
UK
anyway, this
isn't, you know, like,
no,
oh, so
no.
if we go by this standard, then Germany shouldn't be part of anything too.
Yeah.
You know, we'll just remember everything and I understand it's a conflict that's happening in the world today, but again, it's just those double standards.
Mm-hmm.
And the majority of people who are screaming from the rooftops and waving their flags and whatever don't actually know their history. You can have an opinion, but to go and bully somebody in the entertainment space just because she's representing the country that she comes from is again indicative of something that's very dangerous if it keeps escalating and politicians allow it and media companies give a platform to it. It's a very dangerous tangent.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
This is where I come from it. I come from a soldier's standpoint. If I were to meet a Russian soldier tomorrow, and I were or a Russian military veteran and a Ukrainian military veteran tomorrow in the same day, I'd shake both of those hands because I'm a U.S. Army veteran. I don't associate them with being evil. It's the idiots at the top, and in this country too. It's the idiots at the top that screw everything up. They're the ones with the terrible ideas. I don't blame the people. The people are not to blame. It's the losers that are running these countries, the ones who don't care about cannon fodder. And yes, that's what's going on practically at this point. And the war in Ukraine is cannon fodder, and it's gross. And our politicians here are just they're so gung ho in that day that they waved. I don't know who the fuck went to fucking Amazon and bought like 200 Ukrainian flags, and they're just passing them out like they're fucking candy from your grandmother. Like, dude,
Yeah.
get your ass out. Get out. Get the fuck out. Get the fuck out of my fucking Congress.
Andy,
Get the fuck out.
Andy,
Go.
that is so true. That's a great song.
So no, I have no love. I have zero love for people who are warmongers. Zero love. Especially in this country. Stay the fuck out of it. Flight of the Concord saying, quote, if every soldier picked up a woman, what a world it would be. Talking about redheads, not warheads, blondes, not bombs, brunettes, not fighter jets. Yeah. All right. My rant on people dying is over. Because it bothers me. I have friends that are dead.
Yeah.
I don't like it. I'm all in on Orange Man because he just said, I just want people to stop dying. How hard of it? And then of course you have loser CNN be like on, well, do you want Ukraine to win? He's like, I want people to stop dying. How is that controversial? All right, we're going back to the episode. Sorry. I went way too far.
If our photo analysis is correct, that epicenter is just there. And so you can see the land drops, so that's going to shield a lot of the blast, isn't it?
Yeah.
Here we go. This is it. Here's our track.
Yeah. This is the deepest point.
Look at it. It's basically empty.
Nothing. All around. 360 degrees.
Hey, at least they're driving a Volkswagen in Germany.
I'm surprised
mean-
you. They usually do the BMW.
Yeah.
Well,
We say BMW as well in Russian.
Didn't they have a Toyota Forerunner a couple episodes ago or 2 episodes? Yeah, Jacob says good rant. Thanks, Matt. Just I don't know,
From
dude.
March.
Yeah. Yeah. I just get grumpy when people are like going they're cheering on so many people dying. I don't understand that. I didn't like it in Iraq or Afghanistan either, which were lies.
Yeah.
I don't like politicians who lie for their own gain. But anyway,
Yep.
again, and this is world history. It's stuff that happened. Even the invasion of Ukraine is 2 years ago. It's history. It's going to be written into history books. And on the other side of it, I hope the historians judge the United States for its part in it too, for cheering it on, because I sure freaking do.
I mean, it's just the perfect place to do it because A, we know this is a military training area in the 1940s, and B, it's a pretty safe, secluded area. You know, your blast is going to be absorbed by these ridges all around us. So it's all starting to stack up.
Oh, look. Mr. Rybiensky. I had a phone call.
Okay.
And we meet here.
The team makes contact with George Rybiensky, a historian who has spent his career studying the wartime history of the Nazi training base in Thuringia.
Clifton, I have a question. Is Rybiensky? That doesn't sound like a German name.
That sounds like Czech.
Rybyansky sounds like a Slavic Jewish name, either from Poland or Czech Republic.
Yeah.
There's a lot of.
But there are a lot of Germans with Czech names.
I was definitely thinking Eastern Europe when I heard the name.
Yeah, Rybyansky is very Eastern European.
Yep.
Now, is George? Is there? Look, I mean, George is a common name in the U.S. Is there any like cultural heritage to the name George?
It would be Georg.
Georgi in Russian. Yeah, very similar to German. Georgi.
Okay.
Yep. But yeah, they're yeah, it's a name that was popular.
Yeah, the more you know. Man, it just reminded me. I wanted to get. Damn it.
Was wissen Sie über die Explosion hier?
Also man weiß auf jeden Fall, dass diese Explosion stattgefunden hat.
Okay, so I want to real quick. I'm gonna back up. I want to read what he says because I can't. As much as I want to show the whole thing, I just can't.
Is in Thuringia.
Was wissen Sie über die Explosion hier?
It says, "What do you know about the explosion here?"
Also man weiß auf
It is known that at least an explosion took place
jeden
here.
Fall, dass diese Explosion stattgefunden hat.
He says that the people researching here
certainly know that there was an explosion in March 1945.
I forgot he translates to like in real time. So
Yeah.
He said that it was a complete new technology.
We've seen the spread on the photographs. People have been talking about nosebleeds and things. I mean, what's the damage?
They brought here test persons, slave workers from the nearby concentration camp in the north to
What
see
up,
what
Tim? He
damage
says,
on
"Hail
that,
Hydra."
human
It's
body,
true.
Hey, Tim.
The explosion causes. An eyewitness.
Hail Hydra. Yeah, the irony that Hail Hydra is something that is so common, and in Western culture because of the Marvel movies, but Sieg Heil being something from real history is thought is so controversial,
Mm.
and
Well-
one inspired the other.
Well, Heil actually comes from even Roman times, you know.
Mhm.
And it
Yeah,
means
Hail
it means
Caesar.
heal, or like basically saying good. I can't even think of my brain. Can't even think of the English word for Gesundheit. Health. You should just have good health, basically, or to your health.
Hello, Ariel. Good question. Matt.
Ariel coming in hot, literally. So Ryan, how would you feel if I were to put you over my knee and spank you? You'd have to have a big sturdy knee because I'm 6'4", about 260 pounds. Just saying. Yeah.
And thank you for being here.
Yeah.
Oh no. I hope you're feeling better. Seriously, we haven't seen you in a while, and that makes me think you're feeling better, and you're not in the hospital. So you're being your jovial self.
Worked here as a slave worker, forced by the SS. He was forced to collect the dead bodies, about 600 human beings that died here in the test field.
Oh, that's horrible. Really horrible.
And this is known. We are documents.
What do you think was being tested here?
Also eine klassische Atombombe, so wie wir sie von Nagasaki kennen oder von Hiroshima, kann hier nicht explodiert sein.
This was not the test field and the place where classic
Hello,
atomic nuclear
CLS.
bomb.
Hey, man.
What's up, CLS? How you doing? Annie Pickle says, how about Hugo Weaving playing Red Skull, Agent Smith, Elrond after playing Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. Hugo Weaving is kind of an enigma in cinema. He's incredible. And Ariel says, oh yeah, that would kind of hurt me. I'm only 6'1", about 140. Unfortunately, been losing weight since surgery, but I'm feeling pretty good. Well, that's good to hear.
That's good.
That's very good to hear. Yeah, no, that I'm a large human. Andy Pickle says, makes me want to say Hail Hydra with a flaming voice. Like gay voice? Like Hail Hydra. It's anyway. Yes, we're still searching for him. He's very, as was said earlier, he's very slippery. And it's like, nope.
Exploded.
Hiroshima kann hier nicht explodiert sein.
This was not the test field and the place where classic atomic nuclear bomb exploded. But he's sure that a mini nuclear tactical weapon had its ignition here.
It makes the hairs on the back of your neck stand up, thinking about German scientists, physicists creating an atomic bomb.
But what I want to know is, were the nuclear experiments this base undertaken by a rogue physicist, or were they something more sinister, an essential part of the Nazis' military strategy in the final days of the war?
So we know this area has been a military area for kind of over 100 years. How important was it to the Nazis in 1945?
What we know definitely is that they built tunnel systems for weapon productions.
And these tunnels, they still exist?
Yes. All the resources.
Tim, I don't know. Sacrifice for goats? Maybe. I don't know. Is there?
So there's one thing that he asked, and he said, was it a rogue scientist? I don't think that under the Reich you would have rogue scientists just getting funding and doing tests without the Führer's knowledge. Like, that's just bizarre to me.
Yeah,
Maybe again, like later after escaping the area after the end of the war and getting funding, like again from Peron in Argentina with Richter, but on Germany soil, especially building tunnels, like how is he going to be a rogue scientist? No way.
Yeah, no way. Maybe he was just, I don't know, trying to play devil's advocate and ask it in a different way.
That's what I do. So he can just go and explore. I'm devil's advocate.
Okay. Yeah. Anna's like going, you're stepping on my turf, fucker.
Yeah, exactly. He's taking away my whole point of being here.
You have there's more than to you being here than that. Come on.
I don't know.
Yeah, you don't? Andy says rogue scientists would have become Bond villains. Or they would have found themselves in the local concentration camp. They've been concentrating real hard over there, I'll tell you what. Yeah, you were if you spoke out against Hitler and the Reich, you were done, dude. You were done.
Oh yeah.
Military staff was brought here and just here. So it was the most important project from late 1944 to the end of the war.
So did Hitler ever come to this area?
There are rumors that he was seen here. They saw convoys with his escorts and limousines.
Gosh, that's amazing. Wow. Clearly something big was going on here.
So, Clifton, I
The
have a
team
quick
needs to keep
question.
digging and
I didn't look it up, but how far is this area from Bavaria?
It's a while. I wouldn't know in kilometers, but like 400, 500 kilometers or something.
Oh, okay, so it's not like it's nearby. Okay.
I mean, when I think Bavaria, I'm usually thinking like very south, but it does go up quite a bit. So
No, I'm talking in reference to his I forget the name of it in German, where he used to stay at the place that Bormann bought for him.
oh,
constructed from-
Berchtesgaden.
yeah, like how far away would that be? Because during
Oh yeah,
that time, he used to
that's like the 400, 500 kilometers away.
okay, so it's okay. That makes sense.
I always just laugh out loud. All I roll and Anna's doing listening to this. Well, she's definitely smarter than me, so it's like and she's got a journalistic background. So, and Clifton, you do live in Germany, so it's kind of perfect that you guys are actually here. Because I watched this and I was like all in about it. I was like, oh, this is so great. I love it. Like I knew it
And
was
yes, Ariel, Eagle's Nest. That is correct.
yes.
Oh,
Eagle's Nest.
well, that there are different places that he was given, but yeah, Eagle's Nest. Yeah, that's even further south. So that's even a little bit further.
Hmm.
Yeah. I had a boss who had a picture of the Eagle's Nest on his desktop.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Wow.
Yep. Learned something about him.
Yeah. Well, he what? He's like, the good old days, and you're like, wait, what? They're like, are you okay?
Thuringia. But in the meantime, I've come across an extremely interesting document that relates to Nazi nuclear technology after the war.
With the investigation underway in Thuringia, Germany, Bob and John turned their focus to the Nazis' ability to potentially build a weapon of mass destruction after the war.
It's from the 6th of December, 1946. And it was produced by a Captain Harry Sperber. He was a United States Army translator at the Nuremberg trials. Captain Sperber expressed the personal opinion that Hitler is alive and directing atomic bomb experiments in Argentina.
If Hitler wanted to build a bomb after the war, he would have gone to Argentina. The place to go. Got the support of the government, you got Germans, you got money, you got wide open country. That's absolutely ideal.
Is Ryan eating those
This is
chips
giving
again?
Hitler a reason to keep going, is this bomb. Now the question is, what's there in Argentina that's going to substantiate this, if anything?
It's already a quarter
Let's
gone.
see.
Well, you can't see it. Yeah, I've been eating it. It wasn't just for punishment. I like it.
There we go.
Or
You
you
come out
like
right.
U.S. State
punishment?
Department decree.
You shut up.
I mean, Ariel, you hear that? He likes punishment.
That's not the no. I've only one other person that has actually tried this. I offered it to a friend of my dad's. He's a longtime family friend. He's like, that's good. That'd be good on eggs. I was like, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, no, it's about a quarter gone. Good thing I got 2 jars. Oh, how about you? No, I can't read that on stream. And why?
9-697 of May 17th, 1951 creates a new atomic energy plant at Bariloche under direct control of President Perón. Look, John, Bariloche.
It was a hotbed for Nazis in Argentina.
Earlier in the investigation, we found Nazi community in Bariloche.
Hundreds of Nazis came here at the end of World War II.
We found the Analco house could have been a safe house for Hitler.
We're not talking about a small property. We're talking a mansion 40 miles away from anywhere.
With guard towers. This place was a Nazi stronghold in Argentina.
Like
So,
regardless
why does
of the history of that place, it's beautiful there.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Well, it's
it
beautiful
just-
in Germany, but you know, heinous shit happened. So it's like,
Yeah, it just the whole scenery there just reminds me of the beginning of the Alps. You know, like
Yep.
Chiemsee, you know, you have your Alp lake, and you know, little mountain towns all around. And
Even if you go to Bariloche, like the architecture is very like Bavarian, like wooden houses and stuff. It does remind you of the Alps, even though it's close to the Andes.
yep. So yeah, but very beautiful.
Ariel says, and yet the Jewish Nazi hunters couldn't go visit this place to go get these people. No, many Nazi hunters actually went to South America and got some of these people. So,
But they all went like undercover, right? Like it wasn't like they couldn't really operate in those countries. They, you know, they had to take those people out under,
no.
you know.
The FBI has operated under federal law enforcement in other countries, but they have no jurisdiction there. But they've extracted people.
Yep.
So it's just yeah, and the FBI was actually pretty big in rounding up former members of the Nazi Party. But shh, no, don't tell anybody.
Perón set up a nuclear energy plant nearby, potential safe haven for Hitler. It's no accident here. If it was a benign nuclear program, you put it through a university in Buenos Aires. You do not set it up in the Andes Mountains in a German community. That makes no sense at all. Argentina.
I kind of agree with that. I definitely agree with that. It's like, oh, we're gonna set up this thing. It's also where we find out where it is, and it's like going, well, that's very interesting.
Cannot jumpstart a nuclear program. They need experts. They had to bring in people that knew about fission and fusion and the rest of it.
Let's see what we can find here.
Nuclear thermal fusion has nothing to do with fission. It's a completely different thing.
They are different, but I mean,
Fission is what Project Manhattan was working on. Fusion is totally different.
True.
And the fact that they're saying that Perón somehow wanted to bring these people over for that, that's not how it happened. Ronald Richter approached Perón and said he's going to give him something that he's working on, which is going to give him unlimited power, which any dictator would be like, unlimited power? Yes. Here's a blank check. Go and build whatever, like a lab or factory, and give me unlimited power.
Yes, no.
It's not like he sought these people.
Yeah, no. So Richter, you know, definitely went to Perón, and they elaborate on that later. But at the same time, it's kind of saying like that calculus has nothing to do with physics. They're in the same ballpark. Does that make sense?
They are in the same ballpark, but that's one of the reasons why nobody listened to Richter when he was in Germany, because none of the actual scientists there believed that his theories would amount to anything, which actually is the truth. Later.
Yeah, or, you know, Argentina would have been a nuclear power at that time.
Exactly.
No, it was never for Perón. So Perón was just a vessel. I mean, it's like a parasite using a host, in my opinion.
No, because the guy had absolutely no. He had theories, but he could not produce what he said he wanted to do. It was peer reviewed very badly. American scientists, his fellow former German colleagues reviewed it.
Yep.
Soviets reviewed it. It absolutely was a bunch of, like, maybe his theories had an idea, but he was not able to produce what Perón was paying him money for. It wasn't the Germans paying him money for it. It was the Argentinian government.
He was still an escaped Nazi, though.
He was never confirmed to be a Nazi. He was a scientist working for the military. Doesn't make him a Nazi.
It's kind of basically the point I said about Werner von Braun. He participated, but not necessarily.
Okay, so you're saying that everybody who participated in Project Manhattan is what, a war criminal? Because of all the people who
a lot of
died
them, yeah.
in Nagasaki and Hiroshima?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay.
I mean, and many of them were German scientists. Operation Paperclip brought over some of the worst human beings on the planet.
Yeah, 1,600 people, Germans, engineers, physicists. But at the same time, wouldn't you rather have them, instead of escaping to Argentina and doing some rogue stuff, like actually employ them and have them under your purview so you know what they're doing?
Yeah, the U.S. and the Soviets split them up.
Yep.
And he says, "Are we the baddies?" No, we're in some cases, yes. You're always a villain in somebody else's story. I'll just say that.
No, but I a little bit disagree with you with why Richter came over. It's not like he was a war criminal. He was never tried. He died in Argentina, like at the age of 90 something. Nobody was ever hunting him. People knew where he was. He was a scientist employed by the Nazi party to do things. Just like that guy, what's his name? Clifton, the one who also brought him over to Argentina, Kurt Tank, who made the first Argentine fighter jet.
Oh.
Don't drag Clifton into this.
And Richter actually was employed by Kurt Tank, who was the first one to come over in like 1946, whatever, to Argentina. And then I was going to say Clifton went to Argentina in 1949. Richter went to Argentina in 1949, worked for Tank at his factory until there was like a fire. And then after that, he went to Perón and he said, look, I need my own lab. I need somewhere secret, which is why they were sought out the islands of YML, which is what Project YML is. And that's where he started doing his work.
Now, yeah, and I would agree about him not being a Nazi and just trying to, just working for Perón. But it is weird with the other structures there and stuff like that. It is kind of.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I still look pretty good for that age.
You do. You really do.
Certainly do, sir.
I mean, so apparently you discovered the fountain of youth or something. I don't know.
Well, I mean,
my whole thing is I go based on the evidence in front of me. There's a lot of evidence in front of your eyes to view and say, this is weird. What the hell? So, look, I'm going to say this. This is probably going to be controversial. The United States lies. The Soviet Union, Russia lie. Germany lies. They all lie because they have something to hide. And this is basically a quote that came from the show. People have something to hide. And quite frankly, all you can do is look at what Clifton's wrong about one thing, barbecue. What?
No, I'm
Don't
not
like
wrong.
barbecue?
Missouri barbecue apparently is the best. So
See,
Andy
Anna knows.
Yeah.
There's some pretty damn good barbecue, I'll tell you what. That's what the US does best is barbecue and freedom. I couldn't help this second joke. But we do freedom really well. Anyway, governments lie, people lie. You can only and this is where I come from my background in the military and as a police officer. I can only look at what's in front of me, and I'm like, that doesn't make sense. So it's one of those things that I just but yeah, the fact that her thing is random physicist and it just says be right back. It's really funny. Lowercase p, by the way. Also, yes. The salsa is hot and it's doing its job well.
So look here, 1st of June, 1948. The following information was given to the preparing officer by Dr. Richter. In 1930.
No, Ariel. I mean, we do freedom, like in the United States. Like we're the greatest experiment in the history of the world. Ariel also says Anna's PFP looks like it's from Wolfenstein games. Well, Anna has actually said that she wants to start playing the Wolfenstein games. So yeah, it's probably what it is, to be honest.
37, I was in charge of a research laboratory connected to Thuringia, Germany. In May 1948, I was invited officially by the Argentine government to Argentina in order to do some work in nuclear reactor development.
Here's a Nazi nuclear scientist. He was in charge of research laboratory connected to Thuringia, Germany. Bingo. He's invited officially to Argentina to develop a nuclear facility. It's one too many coincidences for me.
I agree. Dr. Richter really ties it all together. Let's get the team back to Bariloche. I'm optimistic that we can find evidence, potential relationship between Bariloche, the Nazis, and nuclear weapons after the war.
When there's this much smoke, there's got to be fire.
I didn't think we'd be coming back here.
U.S. Army Special Forces Tim Kennedy and investigative journalist Gerard Williams arrive in Bariloche, Argentina.
Hey, Federico. Good to see you again, mate.
Good to see you again, too.
They make contact with Federico Palma, an expert on the Nazi history in Bariloche.
We're here to find out everything we can about a Nazi scientist called Dr. Richter. We need to know everything about what this guy was doing, where he was doing it, and what he was up to.
Well, Richter came to Argentina in the late 40s with this big plan of making a nuclear project. He convinced Perón that he will make a nuclear technology in 2 years.
So where is Richter's research center?
Actually, he got himself an island.
He got
What about fat fingers?
I wrote an H instead of a J.
Okay.
They're next to each other.
I love it. Says, now that's fire.
Mm-hmm.
Really, they pronounce it Missouri. That is true.
Yes.
It's also not Louisiana. It's Louisiana and New Orleans. So New Orleans is Nolans in Cajun tongue.
Same thing in Germany. It reminds me of a story of a guy who was visiting around here, and we were like in shoe industry, and we were going to this town, which in German pronounced, if you don't know it, is Hauenstein, but for people around here, it's just Hechte. So we said, we're going to Hechte. And he was like, where's that? I can't look. I can't find it on Google Maps. It's like nowhere. It doesn't exist.
No. I feel like it's a dialect. It's a translation.
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
It's a cultural thing.
Yeah. Definite. still eating those chips.
We don't even know if you're eating them. You're not actually like saying anything or showing. You're just chewing. You could be.
They're just regular chips, but the salsa is what's hot. Okay, fine.
Chewing.
All right, hold on. That one's big. I gotta break it in half to get it inside.
No, we believe you. Well done.
Now you're all just listening to me chew.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Weirdos.
Yeah.
Actually,
of course, it's Birmingham. It's not Birmingham.
Yeah, Birmingham.
Or not. It's not Cheltenham. It's Cheltenham. Birmingham.
Okay, so I have a question.
Shoot.
Since we're talking about British cities,
Yeah.
Evesham or Evesham?
You say what?
Evesham or Evesham?
Evesham? What is Evesham? How do you spell it?
Hold on, I'll put it in the private chat.
I'm sorry. If you spell it, I will be able to say it. I've never heard of this, but I would say Evesham. Not Evesham, but Evesham.
Okay.
Agreed. Yeah. Evesham.
All right. Good to know. Interesting.
Yeah, but in Alabama, it is Birmingham. Yep. Birmingham, Alabama. Tonight's the night. Hell in a Cell. If you know, you know. That's for Wednesday wrestling talk.
Put himself in that island.
Yeah, by the lake.
Who gave him the island?
Perón itself.
Yeah, but how does a Nazi scientist just ask for an island?
Richter promised to get Perón this high technology for $3 million investment. In time, that amount kept growing.
Perón essentially was giving Dr. Richter anything he wanted money-wise.
Yeah, blank check.
Tell me about this
Okay,
island.
so it's
Where's it
Evesham. I
situated?
don't know. I've never heard of it before, but thank you for clearing that up.
All right.
Yeah. No, it's Evesham. All right.
Okay.
Oh, I did.
It's near Worcester.
Oh, okay. It's near Worcester. Never heard of it.
I don't like Worcestershire sauce. No? Nobody? Everybody's like,
I do.
Ew.
I love
Yeah.
Ugh.
Oh yeah. I mean, I put it on dipping sauce.
You put it on what?
I put it in
Dipping
dipping
sauce.
sauce.
Why?
For like sandwich dipping, you know? You ever do that? Au jus sauce?
I mean, I've had had au jus. It's really good, but I've never put Worcestershire sauce in it.
You can say Worcester sauce. It's what usually people abbreviate it to, so it's not too complicated. So when you're in a plane, usually, and the stewardess asks you, what would you like to drink? And you say, I would like some tomato juice with some Worcester sauce and Tabasco, please.
I don't want any of that.
I do.
First off, Tabasco is terrible hot sauce. Secondly, why with the tomato?
It's not. Why do you say that? Just because you're like an elitist chili person.
I'm not. Did you just call me an elitist? No, Tabasco's just, it's fine if you have it. It's fine.
It's good.
It doesn't mean that you have to put a whole bunch of chili on your, like if you're having like what I made yesterday, like eggs Benedict, right? With poached egg on an English muffin. Like if you add a little bit in hollandaise sauce and you put a little bit, just a couple of drops of Tabasco, it doesn't give you that kick. because it's breakfast, so you don't really want to be overwhelmed, but it gives that little like tinge of taste, which works really well with hollandaise sauce.
Oh no, the tip of the bottle dropped and everything came out.
I've honestly never had eggs Benedict in hollandaise sauce.
Oh my god, I will send you a photo of the ones I made yesterday. I sent a photo to Clifton. I like to show off my cooking. Sorry. But yes, I don't really know what did we end on? Chinese food over Thai food? No, Wade. No. Thai food over Chinese food.
I mean, I would consider every food over plane food. Airplane food. Ooh.
I don't know. There's some pretty good airplane food if you fly first class.
Never flown first class.
Who's talking about elitists now? No, I'm kidding. I haven't flown first class either.
So we know that Anna, so I'm sorry, the random physicist.
Can I put these on my ears? I don't think they fit. Okay, fine. Let's do it this way.
So we know that the random physicist has flown first class.
No,
how was it? Was it fun?
Yes.
Usually you can do like pretty cheap upgrades, right? When there's stuff free.
Sometimes, yeah, if you have like British Airways, like an account with them and a points card, they will upgrade you.
You see, I've only flown with Delta and American Airlines.
Yes, I do like Marmite, but I prefer Vegemite, which is the
Oh God, why? No.
Because that's what I grew up with.
She eats bugs. She likes Vegemite.
Yeah. So if it comes to it and it's the end of the world and it's an apocalypse and we go into a house where there's just cans of or bottles of Marmite, I'm going to be fine. You're going to be fucked. Sorry.
I know how to hunt. You know that, right?
I mean, depends on what kind of a world we're living in afterwards. Do you really want to hunt like 4 eyes deer and stuff? Where'd he go?
He's gone hunting, apparently. Not
for
Hitler.
We're already on a hunt. We're like, what, 8 minutes in the show?
So bad. Oh, no. But yes, so just a couple of things while Ryan, I don't know, maybe he needed to go and use the bucket.
I mean, with all those chips he was eating.
Yeah, there was an experiment that was conducted in 1989 by a guy called American physicists, sponsored in, was it Fleischmann or Fleischmann? I don't remember. But anyway, they did a cold fusion experiment where they had a bucket, right? And they have like 2 wires, positive, negative.
Mm-hmm.
And then they had Demetrium, which is cold, heavy water, and they left the bucket there for a number of days, and then the temperature rose. So basically, the whole thing with the thermonuclear fusion is to try and get the unlimited energy, just like the sun has. And so they left the bucket there, and it went up to like 50 Celsius. And they were like, yes, we've achieved nuclear fusion, thermofusion, great. And then their peers reviewed it and basically said, bullshit.
Yeah.
But I found it funny that they did it with a bucket and some heavy water. So yeah, and so going back to what this guy was trying to achieve, which is again like interesting. I don't think he was a complete loon, and I think that's where the question lies. Was he just a mad scientist, right? Like from like a Marvel Hydra comic strip, or was he onto something? And did he really believe he could have done something?
Yeah, I don't think he was a mad scientist. I think he was like, he had his theory, his peers said no, it won't work. I mean, ultimately, can you know for sure? You may stumble on something. You never know. The guy who developed what was it? Penicillin? Is that the one?
Mhm.
Uh,
Yep.
it was an accident.
Yep.
Yep.
So, you can stumble upon things by accident when you're looking for other solutions. So, I mean, yeah, if you have someone who's going to pay for I have no idea what C130 food is.
C130 food. It's called an MRE.
Oh, well, those I know, yeah. Actually, you know what?
So, would you rather be constipated or the opposite? Need a bucket?
Mm, probably, probably the opposite because at least with the opposite, when you're done, you're done. But when you're constipated, it lasts for hours. I mean,
Okay.
so it's not great.
But I kind of like MRIs.
MRIs,
Wait, no, what?
MRIs or MREs?
MREs, meal
MREs.
ready to eat. Really?
Yes.
You like being constipated?
No, but like if you eat one like every 3 years, I mean, come on, there. I mean,
One
if
every
you eat,
3 years.
that's just. I don't know when the last time was I had one. It was probably 2009 or 2010 or something.
I had one 8 months ago.
I mean,
Don't you have a whole bunch of them in storage?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
meatloaf, meatloaf, right?
no, I don't think I don't think I had the meatloaf versions. So there are certain versions in boxes, and yeah, no, I had a bunch of them when I lived in Florida, and I still have them. They're just in storage right now, but yeah, for like when a hurricane, something like that, I had a big supply of water. Because people every year they wouldn't prepare for hurricane season. Then all of a sudden they're like, and Tampa Bay doesn't get that many hurricanes, but all of a sudden, if something swings our direction, everybody's like, and they run to the store and buy everything. And you're like, you guys are idiots. Like, so. Do the Patriot Prep foods have freedom fries? I don't know. I had the classic literal MREs, like A rations, B rations, stuff like that. So.
Mhm.
If if you ever want to try one, it's like I got a few. Oh, they're so good. Oh, in a pinch, they do the job. But I think it'd be hilarious to watch like Anna eat one on in a video or something like that. Watch her eat that garbage.
I
So
think making it is more
I'm
interesting.
I'm sorry. Did you forget where I come from?
no,
Like, in the Soviet Union when it fell, my mom had to queue up for 7 hours to get chicken bones just to be able to make chicken broth, and that's all we ate for like a week.
Jesus.
So I could eat that with my eyes closed in like 10 seconds. That's
Well,
why I
and-
like bugs and I don't really care about the kind of food I eat.
all right,
Whether
let's
it's Vegemite or Marmite or any of that kind of stuff.
I can get behind the Vegemite. Can we not do the bugs? Let's let the bugs go. Let the bugs be bugs. Andy says, Uncle's World War II rations came before. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, they stopped doing that though. All right, we need to get back to this.
How big is it?
Well, it's quite close to Bariloche. Let me show you. I have a map of the area here. You can see this is the mountain range. This is Bariloche, and this is Huemul Island.
The team has uncovered that 30 miles south of the Inalco House and near the city of Bariloche is the island of Huemul, the possible location of Dr. Richter's nuclear program.
So islands here, here's Bariloche, and we have Adolf Hitler on the other side of the lake.
Adinalco. Yeah.
That's far enough away for him to be safe from anything that could go wrong on Windmill Island. But then
They make it sound
close
like
enough.
it's a fact that Mustache Man was there.
Well, they're playing hypothetical.
Yeah.
They're playing a hypothetical, so.
And I think again it's the editing.
Yeah. Editing is weird sometimes.
Yeah, for sure. It's like okay, let's say hypothetically, and they cut that out for dramatic purposes.
Yeah.
Because I noticed that as well, Clifton.
Yep.
On a good boat, that's a couple hours. This changes everything. Adolf Hitler and the Fourth Reich could have been supervising what Dr. Richter is doing on the island. It is very possible that this nuclear program, this is them starting where they left off in Germany, but right here in Argentina. We're gonna do whatever it takes to get on the island. Can you get us there?
I don't know.
Mate, we have to get on this island.
Well, give me some time. I will pull some strings, make some phone calls.
Get us on the island.
We're going there.
He irritates me so much. Like he's
Right,
just a
Greg
condescending
Williams.
dick.
Yeah, he's so arrogant. He's like
Get us
this
on the
like
island.
quintessential like British arrogant guy.
It's like, dude, you need to get punched in the face.
We are going.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna go there. Like going, okay. Andy Pickle says, if Tim hadn't stopped for coffee, we would have got him. That's true. Damn it, Tim Kennedy. You stopped for coffee and you left your shirt on.
Yes.
What we got here is a Nazi scientist, and now we find out he goes to Bariloche, where he's given an island.
We need to get on that island and see what we can find.
While the South American team tries to gain entry to Wemmel Island in Bariloche, Argentina.
Let's talk about Thuringia now.
Bob and John review their investigation in Thuringia, Germany, where a declassified German document reports that Nazis were testing a potential nuclear weapon 2 months before the end of the war.
There's a report from Claire Werner of what appears to be a nuclear explosion at Thuringia.
And these pictures corroborate the deposition. You clearly have right here what appears to be a giant crater.
Oh no, love it. Don't go. We appreciate you being here. Seriously, everybody loves Love It.
Yes.
Always
you,
glad to
Ed.
see you.
Always good to see you.
Yeah, I love it. Thank you for stopping by. Seriously.
Take care.
That's precisely what it looks like, a crater.
They were testing something there. I'm fully confident of it. The team discovered a vast complex of tunnels. We know it was very important to the Nazis. So what's going on there? Now we've got local historians saying the Nazis were digging tunnels into the mountain. Whatever they were working on in the tunnels, these explosions have to be connected.
These underground tunnels could be some type of clandestine laboratory used to develop nuclear weapons, and some type of explosion took place thereafter. Only way we'll really know is to get the team in there and really dig into this.
We're gonna find something, I bet.
Hallo, da sind wir wieder.
Das ist der Beginn der Baustelle.
In Thuringia, Germany, James Holland, Sasha Kyle, and historian George Rybiansky arrive at the location of a rumored Nazi tunnel complex, 12 miles from where a weapon of mass destruction could have been detonated.
So where are they?
Directly in this hill.
Goodness me, that's really enormous.
Yeah, it's. Oh no, I hit a button. My bad. Sorry. I tried to pause it. Ugh. Go back, you doofus. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1, go.
So where are they?
Directly in this hill.
Goodness me.
That's a big ass hill.
Das sind 25 Stollen. In this ridge here, there are 25 tunnels of several hundred meters built directly in this hill. That's just a number he knows. Perhaps they are more.
So confirmed, they know of 25 tunnels. So that's not hearsay. It's actually been discovered.
This Nazi complex was rumored to include multiple levels of laboratories, weapon workshops, and a control center connected by tunnels stretching dozens of miles through the mountainside.
Gosh, it's just incredible the scale of it, isn't it? It really is. I'm realizing that this is not just a little tunnel in a hillside. This could be a major complex. But if we can get in just one of these tunnels, we'll have an even better sense of scale and scope here.
After the war, Soviets destroyed all the entrances. So the idea is to check one after another. Perhaps we find a hole.
And this is actually quite like in line with what the Soviets did, even like for instance when they took over Eagle's Nest, they completely obliterated it, completely destroyed it. They just went on like a destroying everything. So it wasn't just the Nazis themselves destroying evidence of their presence in Germany itself or Poland or other occupied territories. It was also the Nazi soldiers going in and destroying stuff. And I think one of the reasons is so the Allies, like America or Britain or France, couldn't get their hand. Well, not really France, but America couldn't get their hands on some of the stuff.
Yeah, definitely. I think this is definitely interesting. I mean, we're going back to the basics here. We're looking for a hole.
In fact, you know what? I was thinking of doing this when I was watching the episode. So remember how in Star Trek Engage, I used to keep a tally of people, especially guests, saying "Shut up, Wesley."
Mm-hmm.
I'm like gonna start keeping a tally of how many times they say the word hole. Not tunnel, not entrance, but hole.
I mean, who doesn't like a good hole?
I'm not really, I'm not a mole, so.
I'm just saying, when it comes to military tactics, got a good foxhole, you're good.
Hmm.
And no, that wasn't. I know I made a joke, and now it sounds like it was kind of dirty, but no, I'm being serious.
So who
I
said
mean,
hole?
foxholes are taught to this
Clifton
day.
said hole. Clifton said hole. Clifton won.
But no, I think this is interesting. It's sad that in the episode they don't, like you don't see much.
Yeah.
I would hope that someone would actually at some point go in and actually, discover this place.
Well, I think if they destroyed it, it would be. It's just like on Skinwalker Ranch, like it's the threat of collapsing the whole thing. It's not that easy to.
No. And the Germans and the Allies, and look, the Soviets were a part of the Allies. Like, I mean, the Germans destroyed things in a panic. To conceal certain things. There are German bunkers out there filled with everything that has been looted throughout Europe during their reign that have still not have been found. I mean, just looted. I mean, it's probably upwards of, I don't know, 100-200 billion dollars in today's market if everything was to be found, and they just don't know where it is. They don't know where it is. The Germans were secret about the Third Reich was secret about everything.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You were on a need to know basis, and quite frankly, you didn't need to know.
And I think there's also quite a bit in private collections.
Mm-hmm.
Not
oh
just
yeah,
hidden.
like in what was it that we watched?
The Gentleman.
The Gentleman with one of those episodes where the guy is like, come into my basement, and it's like, oh, German memorabilia and all of these artifacts. It's like, look at this beautiful stuff I have, and they're like, what?
I've never been invited to into a man's basement. He had German artifacts. I probably go. The way you described it too, it reminds me from Thor Ragnarok. He's like, "Behold, my stuff."
Well, I mean,
fucking Carl Urban.
Yeah, kind
Scourge.
of. He even had Mustache Man's left eye.
Yeah.
Well, that's just nonsensical. Mustache Man escaped. He's in Argentina
Yes.
with Anna's favorite person ever, Martin Bormann.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They haven't really mentioned Martin Bormann. Anna's like, "Thank you, Jesus."
Army sealed off
Every time they'd say Martin Bormann in the last episode, I could watch her eyes roll. She's like, "Ugh."
access to this tunnel system when
She
they
left. Damn, man.
captured this base in April
Trying to make her leave.
1945. The team attempts to locate an entry point in hopes of determining the hidden purpose of this facility.
Oh, look, there's a gap.
Wow. But the problem is, it's not enough space for a human being. I have another idea.
It would be large enough for an air shaft. Because again, bunkers have to have air shafts. You
Yep.
can't just dig a hole in the ground. Okay, let's not say hole. Damn it.
Ha ha
I don't like you. It's not enough to build a tunnel into, let's say, a room, even if it's just 20 feet deep. You're not, and you're like going, "Oh, well, I'm going to put a door there," stuff like that. You shut the door, you're going to suffocate to death. It's just the way it is. Because quite frankly, so airs only has one way in, and it's through the cracks of that door. You have to have air shafts. It's just the way it is. Human beings have to breathe. I know it sucks, right, guys? Or we'd be swimming about the ocean like mermaids. But yeah, no. So it's not big enough for a human being, but it is big enough to be an air shaft for a large underground structure. I would allude to that.
Let us use this robot.
Let us use
the
this
team
robot.
deploys a small remote camera known as a throwbot. This technology is used by military personnel worldwide to provide real-time video feeds of difficult to access and unstable environments.
Let's have a look.
How far do you think you're in there?
It's about 50 meters.
50 meters?
Yeah. You can see this?
Yep.
This is the ceiling. I think it's about
Gonna show the ceiling.
3 or 4 meters high. It's a huge tunnel. What is this? You have a finished wall.
So I'm still going to allude to the fact that I need to take it off the screen. We don't want to get hit. I'm still going to allude to the fact that it's an air shaft because quite frankly, an air shaft is going to have a small inlet, but as it goes, the larger the complex, it would make more sense for it to widen out because you're gonna get it to. So think of it kind of like a forced induction system on a car, a turbo. A turbo is sucking in air to force the air into the engine, giving it more power. Think of the larger inlet as the turbo. The smaller opening is going to be rushing air in. It's almost kind of like a pressurization to launch it faster, if that makes sense. So
Yeah, and it definitely does look man-made because it's a perfect square or rectangle.
Definitely.
now that's just my opinion based on things I know about cars and anyway, it could have been an entrance, but it doesn't seem like that's what it was. It seems like it was an air shaft, and again, making it grow to where it gets larger is going to cause a vacuum to suck faster air in. It's going to suck harder, guys. Just suck harder.
And again, it could be like one of those things that you see like in buildings where you have like an opening like for air con, and then you have like a metallic structure going into actually like bigger room.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, and because it's been collapsed and destroyed, it could have just been, things there that have been scrapped and are missing, which would make sense for it to like be a metallic structure, like pulling the air out and in. So I agree with you. Makes sense.
We agreed. Holy shit, the world's ending. Yeah, I kid. Also shout out to all the people watching. Seriously, appreciate y'all. I'm assuming Wade's the only one watching on Twitch, so thank you, Wade, for that. My Twitch is not dead. Yes. But this is a fun episode.
It seems to be a wall of concrete blocks. Back. Oh, that's all I can see.
No, you just can't get any further.
No. The problem is it's sealed. So this is the end for this tunnel here.
It's frustrating, but I tell you what, this is just 50 meters of one tunnel. We know about at least 25 here, and possibly even more. The extent of this place is absolutely enormous. The facility here is filled with
There you go.
rubble, but this could have been enough here, and possibly even more. The extent of this place is absolutely enormous. The facility here is filled with rubble, but this could have been enough infrastructure to support atomic research labs here in Thuringia. Do we have any idea of what these tunnels were being used for?
This project, it was top secret. It is set here. There's a planned Führer headquarters.
They were planning a Führer headquarters here.
Yes. They wanted to bring Hitler to the region here because it was better to defend, and the whole Third Reich, the army of slave workers, just this group was 25,000 workers. The question is why? Why concentrate all the best minds of the whole Third Reich when you have no big plans here?
I mean, at that stage of the war, the Germans are just clutching at straws, aren't they?
It was a race, a worldwide race for nuclear weapons, for winning the war.
Fortunately for the rest of the world, the Allies get here in time. The ambition of the Third Reich is laid out for us here. Leading Nazis were just not giving up, because the nuclear bomb is a world-changing, war-changing weapon.
Yep.
One weapon. If Hitler had his hands on that...
Go ahead, Anna. Sorry.
No, it just goes back to what we started with, right? Like, I mean, to be able to build 25 plus tunnels in a mountainside in this place, like, when are they again? Sorry, I completely missed this. They're saying this happened when? 1940 in March? So the explosion next to this place where they conducted the experiment was in March 1945. So this is the end of the war, but the tunnels would have had to been built before then.
Yeah.
So,
Yes, it is.
okay, so I can get,
realize my camera's
behind
off, sorry.
the fact that, yeah, like tunnels were built before, completely understandable. People even today in this day and age are governments building tunnels. It's how we have nuclear explosions conducted underground. But yeah, I'm just struggling to see how they're fitting in 1945 atomic stuff and back in the day. Okay, scientists working on things. Okay.
No, from this episode, I got that these tunnels here in the mountain are just an interesting little tidbit, but I guess they're saying because it would support the research of nuclear weapons, I guess. But like there's no proof of it or anything. There's no real connection.
I mean, that is why the majority of very highly sensitive material that humanity possesses, and especially with nuclear material, again, the labs are underground. Because if there's a war or some kind of like attack or something, you blow up a building, then who knows what's going to happen, right? So it makes sense that the whole tunnel thing, I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah, no. Neither do I. Just there's no connection in this episode really to that.
To the small little explosion thing that they're doing in 45. Maybe all of the scientists were like, you know what, we're escaping to the States or being recruited by Project Paperclip, or I think the UK version of Paperclip was Project Surgeon. And then you also had a Russian equivalent of Project Paperclip, which was like 2,600 German engineers. And it was called something like Oso Avia Him, which is like the Society for Aeronautical Chemical Research or whatever. So, yeah.
Well, the connection to the explosion is literally because it's in the same valley.
Yeah, but it's 2 months before the end of the war.
True. It's very true.
Which is very bizarre to be
It's very
conducting experiments like that right in the open in Germany with the allies there.
The thing is that Berlin
desperation maybe
is further east than what's it called, Clifton?
Thüringen.
Yeah, Berlin is farther east. The Soviets were in Berlin in April. They had Berlin surrounded, which it's further east than this place. So, I mean, would they be trying to find something desperately to halt the advance of the Soviets? Because the Soviet Union was murking them. They the Germans bit off more than they could chew by attacking the Soviet Union. They should have never done that. They should have won the war against the Allies, never had Japan involve the United States, and then attack that direction towards the Soviets. Because again, the Soviet Union was the largest. The United States at the time was the most powerful. And it was a massive miscalculation. But I mean, so I'm leaning towards the fact that no, since the United States got our Manhattan Project scientists from Nazi Germany, yeah, they were closer than they thought. And it makes me think that the people who are like going, dude, we're out of here, like going, just kick rocks, and left certain colleagues behind who are still working on the same thing. The US got it first, but Germany, in my opinion, is the one who actually was working on it before anybody else. I mean, we literally Germany had the first jet airplane, like going the first jet. Like we were still flying P-51 Mustangs. I'd love to have a P-51 Mustang. I'd fly the shit out of that thing. But they had the very first fighter jets. Nazi Germany did. They had the very first intercontinental ballistic missile. Nazi Germany did.
And I don't think it's about where you come from. I think it's about the amount of financial kind of like investment you're ready to pour into a project.
I agree.
And it's not saying that German scientists were like smarter than Americans or Soviets or Japanese or anywhere else in the world. It's like with the whole Neuralink thing that Elon Musk is doing, or with some of the stuff that he's doing with space travel. Like he is pouring so much money into it and literally supporting all of these creative minds. And that really does kind of like accelerate the impact of technological advancement.
Mhm.
So it's not that, sorry, Clifton, it's not that Germans were smarter. I think it's just America poured in so much effort and money into getting as many people. There were millions of people working on Project Manhattan, and so much money poured into it. It like some of the like if you watch Oppenheimer and they show you some of the Los Alamos whatever, but they built actual like massive structures in the desert to be able to produce the resources
Mhm.
that the project needed. and it was like thousands and 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 100,000 people employed in like 1 month.
Mm-hmm.
So massive task force. Other countries, Germany at that point, didn't have those resources because it's a smaller country. You have a lot of troops dying on the battlefield. Like, how are you gonna invest?
My issue is with this though. This logic is that this small country, and again, Europe is the size of the United States. This small country came this close to winning against the United States and the Soviet Union. They
No,
did. They
no,
really did.
no, they didn't. No.
They took the world by storm.
They took the world by storm because the world was not prepared.
I mean, there were U-boats and there were German spies
Yeah,
that
because they
made
were
it to
preparing
America.
for it. They were preparing for it. We weren't.
Yeah, just shortly before the war, Time magazine said he was Person of the Year.
Exactly. And like the Soviet Union was recovering after the horrible defeat in World War I, where the majority of the country were peasants. They didn't have any education. So they were focusing on internal politics, like getting people. This is how my grandfather got educated. You know, going from a peasant farm and doing peasant things to actually being allowed the opportunity to get a 5-year education. That is what they were focusing on, building factories, rebuilding the country. They weren't focusing on taking over the world.
I think that we're undercutting what the Third Reich did, and we shouldn't because this was probably one of the most scary takeovers in the history of the world. Probably not even since Genghis Khan was this advancement on the planet. And I don't want to cheapen it because, quite frankly, I don't look. They fascinate me for this reason because how did this little country that came out of World War I, who was blamed for everything, was fined for everything, was made to pay for everything, turn into what it turned into, and it stormed literally all of Europe, and it stormed into the Soviet Union, and they made it to the United States with their U-boats. I mean, they some what how many ships were 2,000 ships were lost. The US tried to supply the war effort before we were in it because of the U-boats. I
2,700 around there.
I don't want to shortchange it because, quite frankly, it's scary what they did.
And I
I don't,
think this new series by one of my favorite documentary filmmakers, he's a German Jew,
Mhm.
and he's done quite a lot of very impactful. And people are actually criticizing him for the
Why?
a poster that he put of, so it's of a mustache man, like half his normal photograph and then like in red. And it's
Mhm.
like, oh, did he ever have like, and it says something like discover the evil side, and people are criticizing, saying like, what, he is evil, did he never have an evil side? And it's like, well, no, because he actually, what you're right talking about, he got a lot of normal citizens on board, and that is that portrait of him of being the Fuhrer and being the one that people actually saluted and believed in, regardless of his heinous. And then there's the kind of ultimate under the scenes, you know, his personal and everything else, like vendetta against certain ethnicities. So whoever's saying that is completely uneducated and doesn't know what they're talking about. And I don't know, I'm starting to sound like I'm from Wisconsin again.
No, nothing wrong with Wisconsin. They have great cheese. You know what? I did do a video on this based on the fact that Anna sent this to me. Maybe we should. It's just a minute and 52. Let's just maybe take some time and watch this real quick. Netflix doesn't really strike you for it, so it's fine. But this is a chilling trailer, and this is the first docuseries to come out since Hunting Hitler. And this one kind of the way Netflix did it is kind of terrifying. It's just the music and the photos, and it's like, Holy shit.
Well, again, just to say, it's not Netflix. It is an Oscar-winning producer and director. Netflix just bought it. It's his production company. Or the
Yes.
one, yeah. So it's not Netflix.
From what's his name? Do you remember? Joe? Yes, from Joe Berlinger. Is that it?
Anna, you're muted.
Yeah, Berlinger.
Okay. Yes, this was Anna that brought this to my attention, and quite frankly, when I watched it, I went, "Holy Fraggle Rock!"
Adolf Hitler and his henchmen plunged the world into one of the most destructive wars in history. Now, those Nazi leaders were waiting trial for crimes against humanity.
The wrongs which we seek to condemn have been so calculated, so malignant and so devastating that civilization cannot tolerate their being ignored, because it cannot survive their being repeated.
What happened in Nazi Germany, it doesn't happen suddenly.
Hitler was tapping into existing feelings in the German population.
Evil men can convince ordinary men to do evil things.
Hitler's whole motivation in life was to exterminate an entire race.
How could there be justice after that?
The world we live in now seems to have forgotten many of the lessons of what happened in Nazi Germany.
Yep.
This line right here is something that bothers me so much.
Oh yeah, same.
Right here. It actually physically, emotionally bothers me because, quite frankly, I understand that how evil men can convince ordinary men to do heinous things.
Evil men can convince ordinary men to do evil things.
Hitler's whole motivation.
I don't know. That's something that just hits me. I don't like it. And it's true. It sucks.
I mean, going, because we're all in this sphere of pop culture as well, just going to the Gina Carano Instagram post. It's like, and people attacking her, saying like, how can you compare what's happening now to the Yazis? It's like, because it built up to that.
Mm-hmm.
We dehumanized these people before anything was done to them. Like it has to, you have to get the population on board, and what way to do that? With propaganda through media. And if everyone is saying that, you start believing it. It's just like with what's going on ever since, for 2 years. Here in Germany, you turn on the media, it's nonstop bad Russia. Russia bad. And people believe that shit.
Yeah. And they don't just believe that in the sense that what is being done by the Russian country, the Russian political establishment, is heinous. No, they paint all Russians in that way. Anybody who's Russian descent, it's like, are you joking? And it's the same thing with Israel and Hamas. It's like there is open anti-Semitic hate on Twitter, on Facebook, on college campuses. You think the Jewish student who comes from a line of, I don't know, probably 3 decades of Americans has anything to do with the war against the Hamas? Are you fucking retarded? Yes, you are. You're fucking retarded. And quite frankly, I'm so tired.
It's more of a psychological, sociological phenomena that has happened again, which is being explored in this documentary. Is people want to feel it again, like going back to the whole analogy of sheep, but you want to feel powerful if you're part of a mob. If you're
Mhm.
part of a mob and you don't even understand the underlying message that is going on, but you're marching with them and you feel powerful, you're exerting power. Therefore, you're doing it. You might be saying and shouting the same slogans or saying the same thing, and it again, like, it's really difficult, like going back to what you were saying with this Ronald Richter character. Like you're saying, well, he was working for the Nazis. And I think like Andy brought it up in chat, like, yeah, but under what? Like, did they put a gun to his head, or did he have a choice to escape? Did he have to do it? Like, I'm a scientist. Okay, you give me work, I'm gonna work on it. You know, it's a very gray area. But if you're actually tasked with doing heinous things, like how would you behave? How would you respond? Are you going to go with the mob, or are you going to stick to doing what's right, which is what the resistance was doing in a lot of the countries that were occupied? At risk, rescuing their not rescuing, I can't speak. I'm getting so emotional about this because it means a lot to me. Risking their lives to rescue other people, like how far are you willing to go? So this is a really interesting thing. And I think going back to the episodes again, like if we can finish it with what's happened with this whole experiment that they're conducting, it just seems like he was really trying to find something. Like I don't see him as this like mad scientist villain. The way they're portraying him in the episode is like being funded by the Nazis. And like, yeah, he had some nefarious connections, but I think he was just given stuff to do. And and again, like reading some of the Soviet intel documents, some of the people he was associated with, they said he was literally interested in finding this new fusion energy. That was his goal. It wasn't ethnic cleansing or domination of the world. He just saw an opportunity with Peron, and he got a blank check. Like what scientist wouldn't want that? Like, come on, like I have an idea. I'm gonna give you ultimate power. Just give me a lab and on this island, and I'm just gonna like keep working, and I'm gonna have loads of people, and you keep pouring money in. I'd be like, yeah, sure, do it.
Andy says, have you watched the Battlestar Galactica reboot? I'm assuming that's what you meant by that. Don't want to spoil it, but there's a scene that is very on point with what Anna is saying. And also, Battlestar Galactica's reboot was a couple decades ago. There was an originator before that. I'm assuming that's what he's alluding to. I have not watched that. No,
No,
No.
I haven't seen it.
no, I haven't seen it either.
I watched something that you two haven't seen.
Well, rub it in, dude. But, no, I need to watch Battlestar. I heard it's very, very good. And no, I don't disagree with anything that Anna's saying. Because quite frankly, yeah, it's an emotional topic. It's some of the worst things that have. There's a lot of bad things that have happened on this planet. It doesn't mean that it's not horrifying, and it doesn't mean that if you didn't learn the lesson, that you're seeing it repeat on a lot of ways. No, I look forward to us watching that docuseries from put out by Netflix. Of course, wasn't made by them, but it was put out by them. So let's finish this. We got about 15 minutes left.
It's a totally different end to World War II. And it seems...
Why? It's weird when I click off of it. Bariloche, Argentina.
This is the Wemul Island, just in front of us, where Richter used to have his project there.
That's incredible. It's hiding in plain sight.
On a lake deep in the mountains of Bariloche, Argentina, Tim Kennedy and Gerard Williams have been granted access to Wham-O Island, which, according to a declassified U.S. State Department file, could be the location where Nazi scientist Dr. Richter was working on nuclear technology after World War II.
From shore, it didn't look this big.
We are getting into it.
So this is it, Mystery Island.
Blumel Island reminds me a little bit of Alcatraz. It's near a big city, but it's also this secretive place where nobody knows what's going on because nobody's being told what's happening here.
It's a massive building. Massive.
Okay, it's looking a little more structured.
Here you have.
Oh my God. What building is this?
This is the reactor place. There are many stories around this place. Richter was planning to make it very big, but you can tell that this wasn't finished.
Whatever Richter was designing, everything's been stripped. Light fittings, switches.
I'm going to say this. This looks 100% like the place found in Misiones.
Yeah.
It looks way too close. That's part of my issue here, is that, look, I don't know what Richter was doing. None of us do. None of us are going to sit here and say, "Oh, I know what Richter was doing. He was doing
No,
this,
we
this,
do
this."
know what he was doing because Perón announced it in a press conference.
Well, yeah, no, I mean his true intent is what I'm going for. Nobody knows his true intent. This looks like it was plucked out of Misiones, which is not that far away.
Yeah.
Just
No,
saying.
and I mean, you know, just the vicinity, you know, being on the lake with the other structures that do seem to be at least, you know, German.
Oh, it's very German.
Yes, it's.
We do know what he was doing because he
Yes.
was touring around Europe trying to sell his nuclear thermofusion idea to a whole bunch of people.
Yes.
He was.
So, yes, he was.
But we don't know the true intent of
What
what
do you
was
mean the true intent? If
the outcome.
the outcome was it was not successful.
Maybe.
It's Ryan. It's like you come to me and you say you have like unlimited power for me, and I'm like, here, have all my money. You do it for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, and then you're like, oh, well, sorry, I can't give you any results.
And then
That's
all of a
why
sudden
you
on
would- no, but that's why
and all
you
of a
would-
sudden on the side, I'm building a nuclear weapon that you don't know about. You funded it. I told you what I was trying to do, but I did this
your
over here.
initial experiments are open for the outside community of physicists and nuclear engineers. All of them said it doesn't make any. Okay, this is a fun. Okay, so when Richter built his first reactor, right, and so Perón gave him like millions, like it would be like a billion
upon millions.
Yeah. So he gave him a lot of money. So he built his first reactor. This guy did not know what he was doing. He built like a 12-meter width, 4-meter concrete cement walls, but he forgot to drill the actual holes, or the engineers did, to be able to get the coolant, the hydrogen in there. This is how freaking stupid they were. And this is fact. This is in document. And that's why they had to completely deconstruct the first reactor and build a new one.
That's called trial and error.
No, it isn't. It's common sense for any physicist. I mean, physics didn't start existing in 1951 or 49.
No, it didn't. But I mean,
it's stupid. He was literally experimenting. He did not know. He was probably in his element and some sort of like physicist, but he wasn't like, super intelligent. It's just dumb what he was doing. And then he was asking for more money. And then at the end, there was even a joke. Perron sent a physicist, an engineer, and a priest to review his experiment. Because Richter all of a sudden said, yes, we've achieved nuclear thermofusion. And so he goes and he sends, like, it was propaganda all the way. It had nothing to do with Hitler or Nazi Germany or building any bombs. The guy didn't know what he was doing. It's dumb. So dumb.
I mean, maybe.
I just gave you the facts.
The
Why would
facts
you
is
send a priest to validate your experiment? Like, come on, Argentina is a very Catholic country. Of course, you're going to send a priest. That was for propaganda.
okay. Well, I mean, that's fair, but I'm not saying that Perón wasn't trying to propagate propaganda and try to like make this sound like, oh, no, it was so awesome. But what's the true intent behind somebody who's continually asking for, I need
Okay,
$3 million.
I
I
understand.
need,
I understand what you're saying. It wasn't his intent, though. It was Perón wanted to be the one with the ultimate power, not Richter.
no, I know, but Richter came to Perón though. He came to Argentina and went to Perón and said, I'll give
Yeah,
you
because
this
he didn't want to
for
be
this
in
price.
Austria or Germany. And Perón used him because the guy said, I can give you ultimate power. So it was on Perón. It wasn't Richter sitting there with all these Nazis in a bunker creating something. It was Perón that was funding him and saying, like, here's a blank check. You make me a powerful man. He's not going to go and be like, I'm going to give all my power to Hitler.
But
I want to be the dictator of the world. Me, not some dude who's supposedly dead. Like, come on, Ryan. This is ridiculous.
well, Bariloche is a founded German Nazi community. It's what it
Because
was.
Perón allowed it.
He did allow it. You're right. But
Yeah, he wanted profit from it. That's it.
once a Nazi, you're always a Nazi. You're not going to switch sides. You're going to manipulate people.
You're not hearing what I'm saying.
I think I am,
No,
but
you're
I
not.
don't want to fight. I don't want to fight. Let's not fight. I'm not gonna pull up the chat either because there's comments. Let's be nice.
Is the lot. So all we can see now is the remains.
Federico, how many more of these are there? How many more buildings like this?
10.
Are we going up that way or up that way?
No, this will.
Okay. So what we got here?
So this is the power plant.
These are the power buildings?
Yeah, they were planning to build something big here. Richter planned to scale up his project in time. It used to have 3 big generators.
This is massive for the time. Whatever his ambitions for this place were, he thought he required a massive amount of power. Enough power to power a city.
In the late 40s, early 50s, to develop a nuclear weapon, you need a huge amount of electrical power. The generators would have been massive.
You. Andy says, "I'm always nice."
Mm-hmm.
Anna says, "Don't listen to Ryan. He doesn't like to be wrong." I am wrong a lot. I'm the dumbest person on this panel right now. Seriously, I've told Clifton this. I am the dumbest person on this panel. Oh, that's not right. Come on, man. What? I don't hate women. Very big advocate of women. Just saying.
Can I just say something?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so after he tore down the first reactor that he built, right? and they rebuilt the second one. In 1951, he conducts an experiment and announces to Perón, who announces at a press conference to the world, we have achieved thermonuclear fusion. What does Richter do? Instead of repeating the experiment, he tears down the reactor. All these other scientists are like, even American scientists are like, the New York Times had a whole article about it, and they're like, okay, like this guy, like, well, who is the first country in the world? What is the first country in the world who's going to achieve this massive breakthrough? Argentina? We just spent $2 billion on Project Manhattan. We just have in Soviet Union, in France, in UK. And it's Argentina with this one guy on some island, YML, like being, come on. And so they started looking at trying to peer review his work and actually validate his experiment. And what does he do? He takes down the reactor. It's like, oops, I'm going to start over again.
Well, the first one didn't work. They said that. It didn't work properly. But I do want to highlight
the second one did.
These two. Anna, if a man does something and there's no woman around, is he still wrong? Probably. Ariel says, except when you put your fingers in your ears and go la 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 whenever Anna is talking. I don't do that. I listen to Anna more than anybody on this panel.
Oh, Ariel, that is so true. I get you, babe.
Nope, I'm not going to drag Clifton into this. I was going to say Clifton help, but he's like, dude, you're on your own. He's like, you ride the Titanic. Oh, the Titanic. All right. So look, this again, we've said this in the beginning. This is all speculation. It's hearsay from intelligence documents from the United States of America and stuff like that. We don't live in the same world. This world, we have cameras, we have phones and everything anywhere. Access to
Perón had a press conference.
Which,
this is not. This is where everyone was invited. It's a press conference for the world, saying they have achieved inexhaustible thermonuclear fusion.
Where a dictator decided to whip his dick out to the world and be like, going, hey man, fuck you guys. Like, can we really believe a dictator?
Yeah, but this goes against your point that the dude actually achieved it. Or he was doing it for why would Perón go on there and be like, look, Argentina's like the bomb, like we achieved this stuff, you guys didn't, but really the whole time they were working with the Nazis.
Because people who are so far up their own ass, and I'm not just talking about Perón, I'm talking about the world, Hitler included, they like to boast. They're like going, hey man, I got this, what you doing? I'm just saying that I think Perón got played. Richter said,
yeah, he did. Richter was a con man. It was the biggest hoax ever. So it had nothing to do with the Nazis. That's my point. I'm going to shut up.
Place in Bariloche. She left. It took place in Bariloche. That was a massive Nazi community. Nazi community. All right, good talk. I mean, God damn it. If I went too far, my fault. I just... Governments lie. People lie. The history of the buildings don't. That's my issue. I love archaeology too. I'm not just I don't just have not your community. What?
So just that logistical operation is quite mind-blowing.
This is one beast of a generating station.
The laborers, the manufacturing of it, the transportation of it across the lake. This is a huge project.
Yeah, definitely. And probably out of a Nazi's bank account. All for
And Argentina probably wouldn't be able to technically afford it.
No, they wouldn't be technically able to afford it because when they were building those structures in 49, the whole country went into a shortage of cement and bricks.
Andy, agree. As somebody who uses humor as a defense mechanism, it gets me in trouble. No, I do. I know that, Anna. I know that. It's one of those things. It's weird. There's a lot of money involved in this, and on one little island, why? And a dude who escaped from Nazi Germany who had look, I'm not saying he was the smartest, but you don't have to be this.
Escape. He was invited. He came over in 1949. It's not like he escaped in 1945.
I think he was there before that.
No.
Did they say?
Nope.
I believe it was 49.
Okay. All right. Y'all need to hug it out. Nobody's mad here. I don't think so, right? Nobody's mad. And apparently the Swiss took the yes, that's very true. They did. And it's still locked in a vault to this day. The Swiss reserve will not let anybody touch that. Yep. All right, so that being said, so after the fact, so if it was 1949, the Soviet Union, the United States.
To be precise, it was 1948 when he was invited, but 1949 when he started, approaching the dictator in Argentina.
So it was 1948, and then he was invited, and 1949 he came over and started his work.
Yeah.
The United States had already pillaged, and the Soviet Union had already pillaged all the scientists. For the most part, right?
Yeah.
So then Richter goes to Argentina at the behest of Perón, and he's like, I have this idea. I'll give you unlimited power.
No, at the behest of Kurt Tank, who was a Luftwaffe scientist.
So now there's two Nazis?
Did you not listen to anything I said before? Kurt Tank was the first one who went over, and he invited
Anna. That was like an hour and a half ago. It was. Okay, so anyway, long story short, fingers and ears, Anna, I tell you. No, it's really not. Oh, just played the episode. Shut up, Ryan.
It is obvious on the island that Dr. Richter had money and infrastructure. That's what we know. It's what we don't know that's scaring me.
So this used to be Richter's own laboratory.
Oh, somebody's taking a hell of a pounding.
It's eerie.
Actually, it was bombed by the Navy.
It's weird it was bombed by the Navy.
Bombing from the air.
Yeah. Some bullet holes on the front.
Doesn't make any damn sense. Why would you destroy it? There's nothing natural about the destruction of Richter's lab. It's been blown up deliberately. What was so important to hide that you let the Navy bomb it?
Just solid cement.
Yeah, amazing.
3-4 feet thick.
With view holes to witness whatever's going on in here. Because they'd have had thick shielded glass inside them, I'd have thought.
This is to prevent radiation from escaping. That's how close they were.
And he's punching electricity into here. Look at those. The sort of things you see on top of pylons. Those ceramic dampers.
It's difficult to discern what was going on here.
How did it look before it got smashed?
Well, what we have is some pictures. You can.
Anyone? Anyone want to go? Want to venture? Also, Ariel. Navies have planes. I'm not gonna.
I'm gonna add a chat to our whole tally. So Andy, it's one for you.
Andy says, "I'm not saying something went down, but something went down. Maybe aliens." That's what he was going for.
Mhm.
Andy says, "Shut up, Leslie." Yeah, I'm the captain, though. Who's in over here?
Someone?
Damn it, Clifton. Whose side are you on? Whose side are you on?
I'm on no side. I'm Switzerland looking for that Nazi gold.
You have the Nazi gold. If you're Switzerland, you dick. Oh, that's not nice. Shut up, Captain Wesley. Wesley will never be a captain. I mean, what captain? Was there ever a captain that got told to shut up?
Yeah, plenty of times.
Yeah.
No, it's all good. We're all on the same mission.
We're all on the same mission. I'm just kicking off a random physicist at the end of the. I'm kidding. I'm not. She's. No, I'm kidding. All right, so.
You can see Richter himself.
Yeah.
Well, that's a serious nuclear kit.
He kept asking for those, all that equipment. You know, no, now I need this. No, I need this. No, I need this. That's where all that money went.
And this is a huge industrial complex. I mean, he has everything that he needs to do, I think, anything that he wants.
And that's scary. Richter's laboratory was cutting edge. Top-line technology from around the world. All the machines that will enable him to develop a nuclear weapon.
The Nazis in Germany were trying to do this exact same thing.
God knows what they're working on. Documents tell us Hitler would dream of New York in flames and a new Fourth Reich. And it seems to be coming together. Here in Bariloche. Make of it what you will.
Wait, what did Ariel say? Ariel says, if you have to continue to say, "I'm kidding, Ryan," you aren't really kidding. No, I really am. Stop trying to get me in trouble, dude. Seriously.
Nobody's trying to get you in trouble.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of think Ryan gets himself in trouble quite easily.
Yeah, so this is actually Project OML on the islands, the one that Richter set up, and that's a whole bunch of them.
Looks like a lot of Germans.
No, it's not a whole bunch of Germans. It's a whole bunch of different scientists trying to, I guess one of them isn't a priest, but try to figure out if they have solved the nuclear thermal fusion thing. It's an actual photo.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
I'm looking this up after the fact. Well, after
This clearly was a secret nuclear site, as secret as Iraq's or Iran's or anybody else.
Bob and John review the findings from Bariloche, Argentina, where they have uncovered what could be a secret nuclear facility on Wemmel Island, just 30 miles from the Analco House, a potential refuge for Adolf Hitler.
Just taking a look at Hummel Island, some of the pieces of evidence. We know that there's the development of some type of weapon of mass destruction in Thuringia. And Dr. Richter travels then to Argentina after the war for the purposes of this so-called energy plant. There is a lot of electricity being utilized on the island. It's a massive infrastructure, a lot of money, a lot of people. There's just no question about it. There was a nefarious purpose for what was going on Hummel Island.
When you have a nuclear facility run by a Nazi and Hitler could be down the lake, it's starting to tell a story, a bigger story than we started. You have this gigantic body of water and no urban development. You can do what you want out here. At the other end of the lake, you see an Alco house, bunkers, guard towers, could have been a safe house for Hitler. And then you got Hummel Island, which is the nuclear facility. I mean, this is some sort of Nazi base in the middle of Argentina.
I agree with that, but for Hitler to carry out the Fourth Reich, there needs to be some type of security or fortifications that would provide an environment of overall protection. If we could find evidence of 1940s era security measures, I think it's a major leap in this investigation.
Yeah.
I have a question. Ronald Richter was a Czech. Is that why there's so much pushback about the fact that he's a Nazi, or could be, or have Nazi ties?
No. I thought he was Austrian, but went to like the girl up in Prague or something. I thought ethnically he was like Austrian.
Because I'm seeing Richter brought knowledge of sophisticated Nazi particle accelerator technology and was received by the German industrialist as an ex-Nazi spy, August Siebrecht.
Ronald Richter?
Yes.
Never heard of that. No, he was a physicist and a scientist. He went to the University of something Prague and then, yeah, worked on some stuff for the Nazi Party.
Well, even Wired magazine. I'm not saying.
Oh well, you should listen to Wired magazine, of course.
Well, it's the only thing that because look, people don't like to talk. Again, I'm going to say this: people don't like to talk about uncomfortable things in today's world. And quite frankly, Wired magazine is on the other side of calling everybody a Nazi. So, I mean, it's like, but there's a German spy that says that that Ronald Richter brought Nazi I lost it. Anyway, I'm just.
So what, he was intelligent?
No, the other guy was Nazi intelligence. And he confirmed that Ronald Richter was working on nuclear technology for the Germans.
Nobody just disputed that. We literally said that he was.
Okay, well, that would make him a Nazi then. If a Nazi spy is saying that you're working on nuclear technology for the Nazi Third Reich, you're gonna be Nazi Party of Philly. I'm just moving on. I don't want to. Nope.
Hi there.
Alan? I'm Gerard.
Good morning.
To investigate potential military infrastructure that could have protected both Hummel Island and the Analco House, Tim and Gerard make contact with Alan Hughes, an expert on post-war architecture in Bariloche, and his translator.
This lake is the only transportation between Hitler's home and...
Not Hitler's home. It's not Hitler's home. Let's not jump to.
Yeah, but according to you, no.
I never said I
No,
never said that.
according to you, because some guy is being employed in the 40s, just like a lot of scientists were, to do some experiments. Now, all of a sudden, he's a Nazi. And, well, if they're saying it's Hitler's home, it's Hitler's home.
Well, I'm also the guy that says don't blame the troops on the ground. They're not Nazis. They just
Yeah,
think that they're
exactly.
fighting for their
Some
homeland.
scientists were, some were employed without knowing what they were actually doing. If you're just a dude in a lab, like, again, you're given all of these resources to do so, and you're not successful. Nobody cares about you. If you were so good and successful, the allies would snatch you like everybody else they did. Nobody cares about you. You're sitting there, you haven't achieved anything, and then you decide that why did nobody care about him? So the only one thing that I can think of is he is a spy, and he was spying and employed by one of the intelligence agencies. Why would the Soviets, the Americans, or the UK not snatch him if he was so brilliant?
Maybe they couldn't find him. I don't know. How did
There's
Joseph?
records of him everywhere.
I'm just saying Joseph Mengele escaped to South America.
Not the
The
same thing. Joseph Mengele was a war criminal.
I'm just saying that
Okay.
one of the most heinous war criminals in history managed to make it to South America. Look, I'm just a grunt on the ground. That's me. That's my experience. I'm a ground pounder. All I can go by is the evidence in front of me. I don't think it's not my job to expand intellectually. I'm just saying. But if somebody is referenced as a Nazi, it's usually because they're a Nazi. Really, Ariel? It's really not the time with the joke. Clifton, help! Say something. Even if you're saying that Ryan, shut the fuck up.
It sounds like he's done.
Were you sleeping? He's like,
no, not sleeping. Yeah.
Not help
No,
is in that
no,
you need to support me or Anna. Just what is your opinion on this? A nuanced opinion of two people who haven't been kind of button heads for the last 20 minutes.
I mean, look, this show is dramatized. We've said it over and over again. They like to bring up things, they like to say things that just aren't factually given. And yeah, that's just something that I think we all need to remember. And, what is 100% the truth? Was he a Nazi, or was he just someone who worked for the Nazis and then for Perón? That seems the most likely. But yeah, I mean, could he be a Nazi? Could he have been affiliated with the Nazi party? Who knows? But yeah, definitely if he had been, one of the smartest and had good ideas and was successful and stuff, I'm sure someone would have found him, because it seems like it was pretty easy to find him, especially yeah. Especially, because there were these press conferences and everything about the achievements, and yeah.
Well, that's nice. Another person with common sense, unlike Ryan, who believes everything he reads in the National Enquirer. I mean, fine. I don't really care what you think. It's your opinion.
No,
It's mine.
that's not true. He doesn't. He's just trying to, give his point of view, and I do appreciate it. I just think that something as big as nuclear thermal fusion is a big thing, to the point where actually back in, was it February this year, the UK announced 190 was it million or billion? I need to look it up. Or 160 billion project that they are going to build a reactor in Nottinghamshire with like a nuclear fusion hydrogen reactor. So it's something that to this day people are trying to solve and build the most kind of like low carbon emission inexhaustible fuel way of us to get nuclear energy. And yeah, the UK is the first country in Europe to be investing so much money into doing that. So it's interesting looking back there, like how much of the scientific research and things they are using today to be able to expand on that, you know, again, going back to Nazi scientists. So we're supposed to what, not take their research into account? And yeah, like again, it's just interesting. If it was such a big thing, it wouldn't have taken people this long of a time to be able to like go forward with hydrogen nuclear energy.
Definitely.
Wamel Island, where Dr. Richter's doing his nuclear research. If Hitler was supervising Dr. Richter and everything that he does, the infrastructure has to be in place to lock down and shut down the entire lake. What I need to know, Alan, is what's between Analco and the island. Are there any military structures or a built network between this island and this house?
Por esta zona estará la torre.
At the northern tip of this peninsula, there's a tower, like an observation tower.
Es una torre de características, es la de vigilancia.
From the top of it, you can observe 360 degrees around, up in the cliff.
We have to put eyes on it.
The team heads for the location of the tower, which sits directly between the Analco house and Wamel Island.
Oh, there it is. Gerard.
Oh, gosh.
Hey.
Is the tower that was made by architect Bustillo. The same one that designed and built Analco.
The architect that built Adolf Hitler's home.
Built this thing.
Strategically, where it's located, this has eyes not only on what's coming and going from Analco, but it also has eyes on Island Wamel. Nothing can get through, nothing can get past. This locks the entire...
Also, real quick, too, right here is where there's another guard tower. So you have two guard towers, literally. So if you want to use this as, let's say, lanes of traffic, you know, right lane coming this way, guard tower, coming this way, guard tower. So, and literally, so anybody who's could be possibly inserting right here to try to attack or investigate, or anybody right here, it's going to be another guard tower. This is strategically pointed. And I hate to say this, but the Argentinians at this point, they're fucking retarded. They're not that good. And literally the towers look of Bavarian German descent. Just gonna say.
That is 2 holes for Andy.
Oh, Andy's talking about holes? What? Tower is basically an Audi, whereas a hole is an innie. I have no idea. I get another point I'm winning. I think it's the point is to not say hole, but I've said hole 3 times now because we're talking about holes.
Entire lake down. Yeah. This might just be the flagship. There might be 3 or 4 more fighting positions on this mountain.
Ding, ding, ding.
This is a clear indication of military infrastructure that could provide the support from Adolf Hitler. There's no telling what else they could have built here that
maybe not Adolf Hitler, but just
There's
in general.
support from Adolf.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's take the fantasticalness about it out of it.
Yes, I'm
It's
just
very
gonna.
militaresque, and quite frankly, the
I've
fuck.
done my thing with my Yeah, I'm just gonna shut up so we can finish this because I can pull every little thing he says apart. So I'm just gonna shut up. I can't. I'm sorry. Peeves me so bad.
Wait, so you're only interested in what he says when he takes his shirt off?
No, what? What the hell? No,
You're talking about Tim, right?
talking about you.
Oh, shit. Tim, take your shirt off.
hasn't even been discovered.
Alan, are there any other structures like this around the lake or Bariloche?
Como esta.
Yeah.
Sí, están en el búnker.
Yeah, there's a bunker.
A bunker. Where's the bunker at?
Kind of looks like a barracks for soldiers.
Just around the corner.
It was bombed too.
Exactly.
Yes, ma'am.
So well, when you get to it, I was like, that's not a bunker. That looks like a above ground. Like I thought a bunker is supposed to be underground with an entrance above ground.
Yeah, well, I mean, it might be just a mistranslation, but when they get there, they're like, "Oh, this looks like a bunker." I'm sorry, not a bunker, a barracks.
And more systematic and strategic.
Thank you,
This was
Jacob Ironside.
orchestrated.
Thank you so much for joining today.
See you, buddy.
Take care, man.
Come back next week to watch Anna yell at me more. It's a joke. It's a joke. I'm joking. Ugh. And again, as somebody who uses humor as a defense mechanism, make things less awkward, it just made it more awkward. So applause for me for being a retard.
This is the Nazis raising a flag saying that we're here and we own the lake. And that island is ours.
Not really.
If the bunker strategically is located in a way that supports this, that's what we need to know.
Tim Kennedy and Gerard Williams are in search of military infrastructure that could have protected the area surrounding the Analco House, a potential refuge for Adolf Hitler, and Wemmel Island, a reported Nazi nuclear facility.
We have to see this bunker.
After discovering a mysterious watchtower located directly between the Analco House and Wemmel Island, they head for a bunker 6 miles away.
Still not a bunker that they know of.
Hey, muchachos. Ahí está. Ese es el búnker.
You can hardly see it. Adolf Hitler is here overseeing Dr. Richter working on Wemmel Island. He needs troops. He needs security. This bunker could be a defensive position.
Real quick, it doesn't need to be Adolf Hitler. It could be Martin Bormann, Anna's favorite person. Or it could be any number of high-ranking Nazis that escaped. They're still going to yes, Ariel. Again, that's a bunker. No, it's a barracks. It has classic signs of a barracks. It looks like it could have been someone's home. No, they go into it and it's literally 4 feet of concrete. Also, at the same time, the Nazis were famous for their giant concrete buildings, and they revolutionized building things. Clifton knows.
Yep. And I mean, watching this whole show, the town there, everything around this lake, do I think that there were people out there trying to bring forth the fourth Reich, yeah, but I haven't really seen anything there that says, "Oh yes, they were definitely trying that there." No, I haven't.
Damn it, Clifton. I'm kidding.
What?
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. All right. So, yes, it's all over 4 feet. No, it's 3 to 4 feet thick. Concrete was made famous by the Third Reich. I mean, they revolutionized bunker building, seriously. But they also made it topside too. They would build these things out of massive concrete to they were just good at defense. It's weird.
And we have an Alco over here. Dr. Richter with Island Wamel here, and the tower that way. The only way to an Alco is coming by this or by the tower. So a machine gun here with a machine gun there.
Killing field, complete killing field.
As soon as I see the bunker, it is quickly and easily recognizable that they're creating a choke point to prevent people from going to an
Choke point, for those who don't understand military tactics, that's what a
Oh
choke point
no,
is.
here we go again. Come on.
What?
Explain it.
It's literally a field of fire where you close a certain point because if you sail a ship through this, you're gonna die.
Mm-hmm.
It is the point. So
Wade. Okay.
Anna, do you want to elaborate?
He said he just had a hailstorm roll through.
No, not Wade. I'm glad Wade's fine, but on the episode,
Oh no, I completely agree with you.
okay.
Nalco or Wamel Island. This bunker wasn't built at random. Everything was by design, by a purpose. Was there any records about who built this, when it was built, why it was built? Was there a work permit?
There's no explanation for this being here. If you go to the government, they don't know that there has
No se sabe
something
de
has
dónde vino el
been
material.
built here.
Nobody knows who built it. When having seen Richter's place on the island, construction methods are remarkably similar to parts of that.
This looks like it was moved right from the island.
Whoever engineered Amul engineered quite a lot of this, I would have thought. This bunker is purely functional. This is there to do something. If it isn't part of the network that's guarding Adolf Hitler, what else is it for?
This was dynamited by the military.
Because they just said it was dynamited by the military. And the Navy destroyed Wemel Island.
Yeah.
It's weird that the governments destroy things. I wonder why. Maybe to hide something or to, just celebrate Cinco de Mayo. I don't know. Navies have airplanes, dude. Look, sorry. This is actually getting troublesome and irritating. Navies have airplanes. They fly. You know the F-14 Tomcat? It was a Navy fucking plane. Sorry. The condescension is getting too much.
No, it's not. It's absolutely a valid question.
No, it's I talked about it 10 minutes ago. Navies have airplanes.
Yeah, I know they do. We all know they do. I think in this
I feel like I'm just getting made fun of just to make fun of me.
No.
Well, it kind of feels like that in the fucking chat.
No.
Like, can we have an honest conversation? Because it's just not funny anymore. This is why I got tired of Star Trek Engage. Because of just like, when always make fun of Ryan. He's a loser.
No. Look, Chad is asking legitimate questions. So it is like you would not think of in a lake on a lake with a whole bunch of like people flying over, whatever, but legitimate questions. And so, to continue with that question,
This
yes,
is what I was looking for. Attack the assertion, not the man.
yeah,
Knock it off. Not you, Anna. Not just in general. It's not funny. We're trying to have Anna. Go ahead. Whatever.
no. So they go to again the premise of, I don't even know what the premise is, to be honest, because for me this whole episode is about Richter and his experiment, which was the most interesting to me, and fusion as a random physicist.
After 1955,
After the coup that toppled Peron.
Get in here. Whatever this room is that I'm in right now, Gerard, they had electricity, they had water. It's not a tiny bunker. So this might have been like a headquarters area, maybe communications, talking to the tower, talking to Analco, talking to Woomel Island. It's connected, though. You don't build a bunker like that for one night. You don't build it for short term. However long it would take for Dr. Richter to be successful at Woomel Island, that bunker could work and stay in place. It could be there for years. There's a drill hole that's about 6 inches deep. That's 1.5 inches to 2 inches wide.
Part of the construction?
No, I think these are demolition drill holes. I found char marks too. This was explosive. This is guys crawling through this building, drilling into the foundation.
Yeah.
At the juncture points of the support and bringing it down.
And planting high explosives.
A lot of it.
So somebody wanted this destroyed pretty badly. Whatever this was, they've tried to erase quite a lot of the evidence here. They've either blown it up or they've bombed it. Again, it's this pattern of trying to erase things to make sure that history can't be told in the correct way.
1945, you're not going to get any more fortified than this right here.
No.
This could be both defensive and offensive.
The size of this, you could base 20, 30 people on it?
At least. What I see here is the Fourth Reich's blueprint. I know what they did in Misiones. I found their fighting positions. I found the concentric walls. And everything that they did in Misiones, they duplicated here, just at a larger scale. So Adolf Hitler, living in an Analco, has the protection he needs to oversee Dr. Richter giving to the Fourth Reich their new hope, a nuclear weapon. With success here, the Fourth Reich could change the landscape of the world.
Next time on Hunting Hitler.
Were there any senior Nazis who came here after the war?
One killer.
He was a person who lived in the shadows.
There's something strange going on here.
There was a rumor that Juan Keller is Martin Bormann. Is that true?
Bormann. ¿Es verdad?
Does this look like your father?
Esa. Claro.
Bormann's here. Hitler's not very far away.
4 men came to her house from Colonia Dignidad.
Colonial Dignidad still remains today. They've changed their name to Via Bavaria.
How can a sanctuary for Nazis on the run now be a tourist location?
I found Bormann.
He's
like, what?
He looks fat and unhappy.
I didn't know Bormann was so cute.
Excusez-moi, he ain't fat. He's chunky. But yes,
Yeah, no fat phobia here.
no fat phobia. Bormann, definitely looking forward to that.
Yeah, I said at the beginning of the episode, like, I hope they do a DNA test. That would be interesting.
Hey, Beak.
But the German community, that thing's interesting. I've heard of that before. that it is now a tourist attraction. So
It's a real place.
Yeah.
Nice.
So this is the don't squeeze the Borman, Andy says. I didn't realize I highlighted that, but so that being said, what does everybody have going on? We finished the episode. It was interesting. A lot of discussion. And Mr. Clifton 3D, go ahead.
Let's see. Tomorrow, 5 p.m. Central for you Americans. Insert culture. Where we talk about pop culture stuff that not every streamer talks about. Then I believe the next thing is Friday Night Rumble next week. Then, and then back here. So,
Wait,
yeah.
what the hell? What the? Morbidly obese. Please, I know who you are. What's up, buddy? Hey, man, I don't. This is someone from your past. What? I have no idea what in the is going on.
But definitely thank you for the chat, for stopping by and interacting with us. That's always the best part.
Your wrestling days. All right. No, I'm super intrigued. Beak says, got here late, but I'll watch the replay. Have a good one, y'all. Appreciate it, Beak. Appreciate everybody who's watching. And of course, dude, what the seriously? You have a Twitch? What's up, man? I know who it is now. Like, dude, I'll message you on the Facebook. You still have Facebook, right? I rarely use mine. Speaking of somebody who doesn't have Facebook, the random physicist, because why would a random physicist have Facebook?
Yes. Thank you, everybody in chat. It was great to see you and comment and listen to my rants and listen to Ryan's rants and listen to Clifton just sit there in the background and be
Wish he
kind
was
of
dead.
No, I don't wish I was dead. I was eating popcorn. Sorry.
No, I love this show just because it gives me the opportunity to talk about history and some facts, which I consider facts. But if you're going into a world where facts are not facts anymore, but this show really does make me want to explore things and go deeper into researching stuff, which is like I come prepared. And Ryan, thank you so much for eating your California Reaper salsa. And what else was I gonna say? Borman, can't wait for that for next week. So tune back in. I will try and not spew any facts and argue with Ryan. But tomorrow, Monday, insert culture. Yes, with Clifton and yes, we are going to talk some cool stuff. Which again, like he said, a lot of YouTubers don't talk about.
All right. Yeah, man. If Twitch has a messaging option, give me a shout. I can't give you my new number on panel. It's not a thing. Which sucks. Clifton has become the eating popcorn meme. Ariel, before the stream ends, Ryan, I'm sorry for going over the top. I'm sorry for making you feel down, and I'll make sure you avoid going that far. No, it's fine. It's just this was part of the problem with Engage. The joke is only funny so far, and this is not Ariel's fault. It's not on Ariel. The joke is only funny so far until you're just beating a dead horse. Quite frankly, as somebody who is all the time the butt of the jokes, I get to the point where it's not funny anymore, and I'm just gonna nuke all of you, and that's where people on Engage didn't understand. They're like, "Oh well, dude, I don't understand why you're so mad." And it's like, going, well, go talk to Dermy and ask him about it, because he does it too. He gets to the point where he's tired of it and he spurs the fuck out. So no. Also, don't belittle people's opinions. I'm all about freedom of speech, but quite frankly, if you think the moon's made of cheese, fine. I might think you're fucking retarded, but I respect your opinion.
But we had a great show, and everybody, again, like you were saying, is entitled to their opinion. And I'm sorry to cut you off there, but I think it's just fun, right? We're all having fun with a very serious discussion about something serious, so we can get emotional when it comes to stuff. And again, thank you for organizing all of this every week and showing up and, you know, eating your salsa. I'm talking about stuff you know. So
thank you to you and Clifton in the chat. Seriously. This is a fun show. Look, I know I'm saying that with like a little bit of grump in my voice, but this is my favorite show. So I appreciate you guys, and we'll talk to you again real soon. Seriously. Appreciate y'all. See ya.
Take care.